A very good morning to Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Gaurav Bawa, Senior Vice President, India Group at Vika Group. Guest of Honor, Shri Pranay Garg, Managing Director, Advanced Walls. Shri Ivy Rao, Distinguished Fellow, TERI, the Energy and Resource Institute. Shri Yudi Bangale, Executive Director, SAE NIS. Shri Kuldeep Tyagi, Founder and CEO, Saraka Solutions Private Limited. Our Honorable Shri Atul Garg, Chairman Governing Board, KIET Group of Institutions, Chairman TBI, KIET Group of Institutions, and Member of Parliament, Ghaziabad. Shri Shirish Agarwal ji, Honorable Member of Management, Chairman KIET Group of Institutions. Dr. Manoj Goyal, Executive Director. Dr. Adesh Pandey, Director Academics. Distinguished guests, Director CRPC, Deans, Associate Director Technology and Online Education, Principal KSOP, GMTBI, Functional Heads, Media Person, fellow members and students. It's a great occasion and opportunity for us to organize this National Conclave Synergy 2025, bridging gap between industry and academia on the theme Design, Development and Sustainable Manufacturing, Viksit Bharat by 2047, organized by the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Electronics and Communication Engineering, and Electrical and Electronics Engineering, KIET Group of Institutions, in collaboration with SAE India Northern Section, with an aim to bring people together from academic and industry to exchange ideas and to get strengthened in the area of innovation and high technology. We are here. On the behalf of Department of Mechanical Engineering, KIET Group of Institutions, I, Dr. Pratibha, Professor Mechanical Engineering Department, feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all present here. We are here to make this event a great success. It's auspicious for its great opportunity to commemorate and to move further through the contribution of the precious views by our revered academicians and industrialists. To initiate with, I would like to take the opportunity to call upon our respectable Dr. Ashish Karnawal, Dean, Mechanical Engineering Department, to highlight the theme of the National Conclave, Synergy 2025.
Thank you, ma'am. Respected Shri Gaurav Bawa ji, Senior Vice President, India Vika Group, Chief Guest of the event. Guest of Honors, Shri Pranay Garg ji, Managing Director, Advanced Walls. Shri Ivy Rao ji, Distinguished Fellow, TERI. Shri Yudi Bangale ji, Executive Director, SAE-NIS. Honorable Shri Atul Garg ji, Chairman Governing Board KIET, Chairman TBI KIET, and Member of Parliament, Ghaziabad Constituency. Shri Shirish Agarwal ji, Chairman KIET. Shri Kuldeep Tyagi ji, Founder and CEO of Saraka Solutions Private Limited. Shri Seema Tyagi ma'am, Board Member and Executive Director of Saraka Solutions. Anushka ma'am, Head of Human Resource and Administration, Vika India. Mr. Umang, Head of Operations, Ghaziabad Plant, Vika Group. Dr. Manoj Goyal sir, Executive Director, KIET Group of Institutions. Dr. Adesh Pandey ji, fellow deans, faculty members from our institutions, as well as other reputed institutions. Dear students who are sitting here, and those who are present at other auditoriums and lecture halls, a very warm greetings and a pleasant good morning to everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to Synergy 2025, the National Conclave, a platform that truly embodies collaboration, innovation, and transformation. Today, we are honored to have with us distinguished business leaders on the one side and over 1,000 plus young bright students of core branches, that is mechanical, electrical, electronics, automotive mechatronics, VLSI, and ELCE on the other side. And we are together to explore the theme of design, development, and sustainable manufacturing that will lead to Viksit Bharat 2047. Friends, such conclaves provides a golden opportunity for students as well as faculty members to bridge the industry-academia gap through so many different knowledge-sharing sessions, panel discussions, interaction with eminent industry leaders, and information about latest technological advancements which are currently going on in the industry. In this rapidly evolving landscape of technology and innovation, the integration, the synergy between the industry and academia is more crucial than ever. While we as an academic institution nurtures the foundation of knowledge and research, industry brings in the dimensions of application, practicality, and relevance. At this stage, I would also like to extend a warm welcome to the entire SANIS team and sincerely appreciate their collaboration with KIT for this national conclave, which strengthens the bridge between academia and industry. Together, we look forward to driving impactful lectures and shaping a sustainable engineering future for our nation. Today's conclave includes 7 technical sessions on various themes. Those includes electrical vehicles, autonomous vehicles, best management practices, cybersecurity, key design aspects of different products, semiconductor technology, and so on. And during the second half, we have one very important panel discussion, and theme of panel discussion is skill requirement for young graduates in this current competitive environment. During evening sessions, we have speakers from Samsung Electronics, Minda Corporations, Automotive Test Systems, Solarifics, and National Institute of Technology, Delhi. They will grace the occasion and share their knowledge with the students. As we move forward, let us remember that true innovation thrives where learning meets application. And students, this conclave is not just an event, it is a commitment to continuous collaboration between academia and industry to shape a technologically advanced, sustainable, and self-reliant India, a Viksit Bharat by 2047. Last but not the least, I would like to pay my deepest gratitude and heartfelt thanks to our distinguished industry leaders for their valuable time and kind guidance to be part of this event. Our management members for their wholehearted support and freedom for organizing such an events, and my entire team from mechanical, electrical, and electronics department, all faculty members and students for working tirelessly since last 3 months for organizing this particular event. Thank you one and all. Jai Hind. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for putting such a valuable reflection on Synergy 2025. Now I take the opportunity to share highlights of our institute through a short video. I request my team to kindly play the video.
It has been more than 26 years of academic excellence since the KIET group of institutions started in 1998. Affiliated with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow, KIET has achieved numerous accolades such as NAC A+ accreditation, NIRF ranking, QS iGage Diamond rating, IIRF ranking. All eligible programs are NBA accredited and many more prestigious recognitions of quality and excellence. In 2024, the University Grants Commission, UGC, conferred autonomous status to KIET group of institutions, further enhancing its reputation. More than 9,300 students across disciplines of engineering, computer applications, management and pharmacy are shaping their professional careers through innovative, industry-relevant and globally aligned curriculum at KIET. Today, it has grown into a major center of higher education with a strong alumni network of 20,000 plus professionals worldwide. Our robust industry partnerships and outstanding placement record ensure that students are not just job ready but future ready. More than 450 recruiters have placed their trust in KIET, consistently choosing our students as some of the finest professionals in the industry. KIET students create history with 583 selections in Infosys, the highest ever offers by a single company during on-campus placement drives. Our placement achievements continues to strengthen each year, with the highest package reaching 87 lakhs per annum. To address the evolving needs of the dynamic industry, KIET has established a wide range of centers of excellence. These include e-mobility and electric vehicles with L&T EduTech, automotive mechatronics with Mercedes-Benz India, advanced woodworking with Bees India, cybersecurity with Wipro Limited, space technologies with ISRO, supercomputing powered by NVIDIA, two-wheeler skill development with Hero Motocorp. At the forefront of innovation and entrepreneurship stands our Technology Business Incubator, established in 2007 and promoted by the NSTEDB and DST, Government of India. It is supported by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, MSME, the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, DPIIT, IDEXDO, Start in UP, Government of Uttar Pradesh, Mahindra and Mahindra Group and HDFC Bank. TBIKIET has successfully incubated over 240 startups across India and was honored with the Best Incubator Award 2020 by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. At KIET, we nurture global aspirations, foster cross-cultural competencies, and prepare students to emerge as leaders capable of making a meaningful impact anywhere in the world.
Now I take the privilege to request our Honorable Director Academics, Dr. Adesh Kumar Pandey, to kindly give his valuable address on the occasion.
Thank you, ma'am. Our respected chief guest of the day, Shri Gaurav Babaji, our Honorable Chairman, Governing Board and Member of Parliament, Ghaziabad, Shri Atul Garg ji, Shri Sharish Agrawal ji, Honorable Chairman, KIT Group of Institutions, other esteemed guests on the dais, and my dear students. It is indeed a matter of great pride and joy to welcome you all to Synergy 2025, the flagship national conclave of KIT Group of Institutions. Friends, this event stands as a vibrant platform for industry and academia collaboration. अगर मैं अपने शब्दों में कहूँ और जिससे जो भाषा हम सबको ज़्यादा समझ में आती है, तो आज का जो प्रयोजन है एकेडमिया और इंडस्ट्री के बीच सार्थक साझेदारी के प्रति KIT के कमिटमेंट का प्रतीक है। हम मानते हैं कि KIT में हम सब टीचर्स, हमारा मैनेजमेंट और हमारी लीडरशिप शिक्षा का वास्तविक उद्देश्य तभी पूरा होता है जब वह इंडस्ट्री व सोसाइटी की आवश्यकताओं से जुड़ी हो और उन्हें पूरा करे। सिनर्जी प्रोग्राम इसी की भावना का एक सुंदर उदाहरण है, जहां आज एकेडमिया और इंडस्ट्री के एक्सपर्ट एक साथ मिलकर नवाचार का मार्ग प्रशस्त कर रहे हैं। सर, मैं हाउस को बताना चाहूँगा, द KIT ग्रुप ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैव गॉट द स्टेटस ऑफ ऑटोनोमस इंस्टीट्यूट इन 2024। हमारे संस्थान ने ऑटोनोमस स्टेशन मिलने के बाद कई सारे पहल किए हैं, मैं कुछ बताना चाहूँगा आप लोगों को. We have transformed our curriculum from learner-centric to skill-oriented-centric in collaboration with the industry. We have made our basket of electives in collaboration with the different industries like Tata Power, Cadence India, Amazon, NSDC, and these electives are delivered by the industry professionals in the form of adjunct faculty and the professor of practices. We have introduced very early in first year social internship, design thinking, innovation and entrepreneurships. We are not shying away to call the industry professional where we are lacking in the knowledge. जब हम लोग इंडस्ट्री को बुला रहे थे इनोवेशन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप बुलाने में, तो हमने गाजियाबाद के एमएसएमई के 30 लोगों को यहाँ बुलाया और उनसे बच्चों को पढ़वाया जिससे एक प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज ट्रांसफॉर्म हो सके. इंडस्ट्री के सहयोग से हमने बहुत सारे सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस एस्टैब्लिश किए हैं और आज हम इंडस्ट्री को अपनी ये जो फैसिलिटी है वो ऑफर कर रहे हैं, वो आएँ और हमारे बच्चों को भी नई चीज़ सिखाएं. इसमें बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्री गाजियाबाद की हमारे साथ जुड़ी हैं. मैं एक और इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ आप लोगों को बताना चाहूँगा. देश की एनईपी 2020 को इम्प्लीमेंट होने के बाद हम लोग भी उसी दिशा में जा रहे हैं और हमने पार्शियली उसे इम्प्लीमेंट करना शुरू किया है. हमारे 30% एग्जामिनेशन आज एक्टिविटी बेस हैं. जो वर्ल्ड सिनेरियो में एजुकेशन का सिनेरियो है उसको देखते हुए हमने 30% अपने एग्जामिनेशन को पेन पेपर से इनिशियली हटाया है. बच्चे फील्ड एग्जामिनेशन दे रहे हैं और प्रैक्टिकल ओरिएंटेड लोगों को हम बुला रहे हैं जिससे उनका असेसमेंट प्रैक्टिकल असेसमेंट हो पाए. एक और पहल हमने की है पिछले 6 महीने में. पूरे इंडिया से हम इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट और खाली इंजीनियरिंग डोमेन के नहीं, मैनेजमेंट आर्ट डोमेन के लोगों को यहाँ रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं और वो कॉलेज में आ रहे हैं और बच्चों से मिल रहे हैं. हमारा उद्देश्य है कि हमारे बच्चों का 360 और सर्वांगीण विकास की ओर हम जाएं. एक और पहल मैं बताना चाहूँगा. अभी हमें 1000 इंडियन डायस्पोरा का कलेक्शन मिला है जो अब्रॉड में डिफरेंट फील्ड में सेटल हैं, जो हाईली क्वालिफाइड लोग हैं, डिफरेंट यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में हैं. हमारे सारे डिपार्टमेंट उनको कुछ दिनों में मेल लिखने वाले हैं और हम उनको रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं जब भी वो इंडिया आएँ और या हमारा वैसे भी आना चाहें तो हमारा कॉलेज उनके साथ जुड़ने को तैयार है. हम चाहते हैं जहाँ से नॉलेज मिले हमारे बच्चों को हम वो दे पाएँ. हमारा उद्देश्य बहुत क्लियर और साफ है. इन सभी का उद्देश्य विद्यार्थियों की वास्तविक औद्योगिक अनुभव प्राप्त करना है. इन प्रयासों के माध्यम से हम अपने सभी विद्यार्थियों को लर्नर सेंट्रिक नहीं बल्कि नवाचार और परिवर्तन का मार्गदर्शक बनाना चाहते हैं जिससे विकसित भारत का 2047 में जो सपना हमारी गवर्नमेंट देख रही है वो पूरा हो पाए और हमारा इंस्टीट्यूट भी उसमें अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन दे पाए. मैं अपने सभी स्टूडेंट को भी आज रिक्वेस्ट करता हूं कि इस पूरे अवसर का पूरे दिन जो कार्यक्रम है इसका पूरा लाभ उठाएं, प्रश्न पूछें, सीखें और अपनी जिज्ञासाओं को जो क्लासरूम में शांत नहीं हो पा रही है वहाँ इसका आपका निवारण करें. और आज जो नॉलेज आप गेन करेंगे, प्राप्त करेंगे, वही आपके प्रोफेशनल जीवन का आधार होने वाली है. हम लोग सब आपको सुनने के लिए उत्सुक हैं. मैं बहुत ज़्यादा समय नहीं लूँगा. थैंक यू वेरी मच ऑल ऑफ यू फॉर बीइंग हियर विद अस टुडे. आई विश सिनर्जी 2025 अ ग्रेट सक्सेस. जय हिंद, जय भारत.
Thank you, sir. Now I take the opportunity to request our guest of honor, Shri U.D. Bangale, Executive Director, SAE NIS, to kindly address the session.
With over 35 years of experience and is a well-known figure in India's automotive industry. He played a key role in setting up the International Center for Auto.
Sri Atul Garg ji, Chairman of KIET Institutions and Member of Parliament from Ghaziabad, Government of India. Sri Gaurav Bawa, Senior Vice President, Vaika Group, and all respected guests on the dais, faculty members and great students. Good morning to everybody. It gives me immense pleasure to be here today at National Conclave Synergy 2025, a remarkable initiative organized by KIET group of institutions in collaboration with SAE India Northern India section. On behalf of SAE Northern India section, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the entire KIET team for conceptualizing and executing this event with such a energy and purpose. Synergy truly reflects what its name stands for, the power of collaboration, of bringing together diverse minds from industry, academia, and research to work towards a common goal. We are living in an era of rapid technological transformation, whether it's electric mobility, automation, sustainable materials, or intelligent manufacturing. the pace of innovation is unprecedented. In this scenario, the role of academia becomes even more crucial as it shapes the future talent who will drive these changes. However, to make our young engineers industry ready, it is vital that we continuously align academic learning with industry expectations. That is exactly where platforms like Synergy 2025 makes a difference. They create a space for meaningful dialogue where ideas, innovations, and experience can flow freely between students, faculty, and industry experts. Such a collaboration not only enhances employability but also nurture the culture of research, innovation, and problem solving. At SAE Northern India section, we firmly believe that when industry and academia move together, we accelerate the journey towards the technologically advanced and self-reliant India and truly Viksit Bharat. Once again, I congratulate the KIT leadership, faculty, and students for hosting this event, and I wish Synergy 2025 a great success. May it inspire new partnerships, innovations, and opportunities for all of us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Before requesting our Honorable Chief Guest for his valuable address, I request my team to play an introductory video of our Honorable Chief Guest.
Mr. Gaurav Bawa, a mechanical engineer and MBA in operations and finance, has worked with Aisha, GE, and Schneider Electric. As Senior Vice President of Vika Group, he has led the company's growth and alignment across 4 manufacturing plants. Under his leadership, Vika India earned the VDMA Safety, Sustainability Excellence, and Brand of the Year awards, and he was named Best Leader to Watch 2024. He exemplifies leadership built in innovation, integrity, and sustainable growth.
Now I would like to take the privilege to request our Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Gaurav Bawa, Senior Vice President, India Group, Vika Group, to kindly share his precious views.
Good morning, everyone. Shri Atul Garg ji, Chairman, Governing Board and Member of Parliament. Shri Sarish Agarwal ji, Chairman of KIT. Shri Sunil Gupta ji, General Secretary of KIT. Dr. Manoj Goyal, Executive Director. Dr. Adesh Pandey, Director Academics. Distinguished guests, your respective Dean, Dr. Karnwal, who came and met me, very recently, where we had a great discussion about how to take this partnership forward, and I really appreciate this opportunity to come here and speak to all of you. It's really an honor and a privilege for me to come here and speak to you, and I'm looking forward to another session where I will share my personal and professional journey also with you, which I've never done previously, but that's a great opportunity to share with all of you that as well. Standing amidst, all of you, such bright young minds today, takes me back to my own college days, days which were filled with energy, curiosity, and dreams waiting to take shape. When I learned today that the event revolves around the theme of synergy, I felt an instant connection. In my journey from an engineer to a CEO today, I have seen that the greatest success stories, whether in business, science, or life, are written by people coming together, sharing ideas, and working towards a common goal. In my company, also, some of the best ideas haven't come from the boardroom, but with conversations among young engineers and sometimes even during casual tea breaks. When people feel heard and respected, creativity flows naturally. And that's the magic of synergy. It's not a concept in books, but a way of working and living. To all the students here, your degree is more than a certificate, it's a responsibility. The world needs not just smart engineers, graduates, but empathetic leaders today who can connect, collaborate, and build. Remember the three things that life has also taught me. We need to listen before we lead. We need to collaborate before we start competing, and dream big. But work together to make those dreams real. Looking at our country today, which is young, again ambitious, and we see a full of promise. From Chandrayaan to Make in India, from green energy to AI innovation, every milestone we achieve is born from the synergy between government, industry, and the youth. And you are the youth. You are the future of this nation. I'm very excited to see the amount of work that you are doing on the practical side, what we hear today, what we see, also on the video. I have been interacting with your students, which are also part of our organization today in Vika. And it's great to see that on the practical side, how you've integrated, whether it is drone technology, whether it is AI, whether you're working with other large companies like the Mercedes-Benz to others. And during my interaction also, I had shared with Dr. Karnawal the same thing, that we would love to host you at Vika to share with you the best practices and what we do today. Vika, just for your information, is also one of the largest instrumentation companies in the world, one of the oldest, from 75 years old. We are in operation, and we are the largest in pressure, temperature, and some of these measurement instrumentation. I would also like to offer, looking at what we saw today and our interaction, that if Vika can also establish a center here for instrumentation, we would be happy to do that, to take this journey forward and the collaboration with all of you. So it will be a privilege for us as well. For students, I feel this collaboration offers a richer, more practical education, internships, mentorship programs, and real-time projects, which gives you a hands-on experience, bridging the gap between classroom theory and industry expectations. And for universities, this partnership means access to resources, funding for innovative research, allowing them to stay at the forefront of technology and market trends. I think it's a real win-win for the industry and society, and I think we all need to participate, the industry as well, with all of you. These benefits of partnership extend far beyond education, and whether it is academic or public, it is a strategy for success. At Vika today, we continue to invest in talent. We have recruited more than 10 GTs from this institute, from this prestigious institute already, who are working with us. We also have many interns after your third year who are also part of our organization. So great to have more and more youth from this organization. I'm also pleased to share that some of our top talent at India in Vika today is also from this prestigious institute. So we have, interestingly, we have sitting here also one of your alumni who was from the first batch, who is also working with us and also is one of our top talent from this institute. So we have a long association, I would say. And it's interesting to know, today we learned something about him also, that probably what the first batch did here, so it was interesting. So I think it's a proud moment for me also to be here and have a continued association with this. So finally, thank you for inviting me to be part of this inspiring gathering. May you all continue to learn, collaborate, and create, not just for personal success, for the progress of our society and our great nation. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable address. Before requesting our Honorable Shri Atul Garg ji for his valuable address, I request my team to kindly play an introductory video of our Honorable Shri Atul Garg ji.
Shri Atul Garg ji is the chairman.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। ये वीडियो नहीं चलाने के लिए ताली बजी है। आदरणीय हमारे चेयरमैन सरीश चौधरी साहब, चीफ गेस्ट गौरव बाबा जी का आपने सुना और उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी अच्छी ऑफर्स आपको दी हैं, जिसके लिए आपने उनको ताली बजा करके धन्यवाद भी दिया। हमारे प्रणव गर्ग जी, श्री कुलदीप त्यागी जी, श्री आई.वी. राव जी, श्री ओ.डी. भंगेट जी, इन सबको अलग अलग सेशंस में आप लोग सुनेंगे। और ये जो ब्रिज की बात कही गई है, टेक्नोलॉजी की, एजुकेशन की, इंडस्ट्री की, ये ब्रिज मैंडेटरी है। ये ब्रिज बना करके कोई नई चीज़ नहीं है। कोई भी आदमी अगर इंजीनियरिंग करता है या टेक्नोलॉजी का है तो अल्टीमेटली घूम फिर करके 100% उसे इंडस्ट्री में ही जाना होता है। चाहे वो रिसर्च में जाए, घूम फिर के फिर वही इंडस्ट्री में जाएगी। बात है भारत की जो स्थिति है वो एकदम से ऐसे समझो कि सोते सोते जागा है। अभी भी बहुत सारे देश ऐसे हैं कि जो भारत की स्थिति 1960, 70, 80 तक थी वैसे वो गुजारा कर रहे हैं। मेरे को DRC, कॉन्गो, लाइबेरिया जैसे छोटे छोटे कंट्रीज़ में जाने का मौका मिला तो एक देश में जो बिजली है वो पानी के जहाज़ से आ रही थी। उन्होंने इटली से किराए पे जहाज़ ले लिया DRC, कॉन्गो में, और उसके जनरेटर से पूरा शहर चल रहा था। पूरा शहर उसी की जनरेटर से चल रहा था। बिजली कितनी महंगी पड़ती होगी भाई, वहाँ पे भी धूप निकलती है। क्यों नहीं वहाँ के लोगों ने अभी तक इसे सोलर एनर्जी को इस्तेमाल करना सीखा। इसी प्रकार से जो उनके यहाँ बहुत अच्छी वनस्पति उगती है, लेकिन तेल और बहुत सारी खाने पीने की चीज़ उन छोटे छोटे देशों में आयात होती हैं। वहाँ पर अगर बुखार भी हो जाए तो हिंदुस्तानी रुपयों के अंदर कम से कम 25,000 रुपये की तो दवाई आती है। तो वहाँ पर हमारा जो 250 पोरा वहाँ से जो उनसे मुलाकात जो हुई वहाँ के लोगों से, तो कुछ डॉक्टर थे, तो उन्होंने ये कहा कि इस देश में बीमार होना नरक के समान है। ऐसा समझो कि अब नरक में आ गए। क्यों? गरीब आदमी या पैसा उन पे है नहीं, और दवाइयाँ और इलाज बहुत महंगा है। तो कई बार संसाधनों के होते हुए भी उसका इस्तेमाल ठीक से ना हो, टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल ना हो, तो देश बहुत पीछे चला जाता है। हमारे यहाँ ये DRDO जो था डिफंक्ट था। हम सारे हथियार विदेशों से खरीद रहे थे, और बफोर्स के टाइम पर जिस समय हमारे को ज़रूरत पड़ी, पाकिस्तान ने जब हम पे अटैक कर दिया था कारगिल के अंदर, तो 5 गुना कीमत पर वो गोले हमारे को खरीदने पड़े। 5 गुना कीमत पे, क्योंकि इमरजेंसी पड़ गई थी अचानक से। और अब इस गाज़ियाबाद के अंदर मैं 4 दिन पहले गया गुड लक स्टील नाम की एक कंपनी में, वहाँ वही गोले बन रहे थे। और वो जो मैंने उनका बॉम्ब बनाने का जो प्रोसेस देखा तो वो इतना आसान था कि मेरे को ये समझ नहीं आया कि हमारे को 50, 60, 70 साल क्यों लग गए ये बॉम्ब बनाने के लिए, कि भाई हम बाहर से ख़रीदते रहे। कि सिंपल सा एक इंगॉट ख़रीदा इन्होंने स्टार वायर से, और उसको जो है प्रेस के अंदर डाल दिया, उस प्रेस ने उसको अंदर होल कर दिया, अब फिर वो ऑटोमेटिकली CNC लेथ पे चला गया, CNC लेथ ने उसको टर्न कर दिया, अब उसके अंदर बारूद भर के जहाँ मर्जी उड़ा दो। कितना आसान है। तो कई बार चीज़ें हमें बड़ी लगती हैं, अगर उसकी गहराई में जाओ तो पता पड़ता है कि ये इतनी बड़ी नहीं है। बड़ी हमें इसलिए लग रही है क्योंकि हमने उस तरफ ध्यान नहीं दिया। तो आप लोगों को मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि भाई ये तो बताया कि भाई हमारा इतना प्लेसमेंट है, ये भी बताना चाहिए कि हमारे यहाँ के बच्चों ने निकल करके कितने लोगों ने अपना खुद का स्टार्टअप शुरू करा, खुद का बिजनेस शुरू करा, खुद की इंडस्ट्री शुरू करी। और आप जहाँ गाज़ियाबाद में बैठे हैं, यहाँ पर दुनिया की हर तरह की इंडस्ट्री है। थोड़ी सी आप ढूंढिए, थोड़े से आपके प्रोफेसर ढूंढ के आपको बताएंगे। और 3 इडियट देखने के बाद इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने भी ये फैसला ले लिया है कि वो अपना सब्जेक्ट बीच में भी चेंज कर सकते हैं। ये बात आपकी जानकारी में है या नहीं है? ठीक है। तो इसका मतलब ये है कि आप भी अपना माइंड मेकअप करिए कि आप कोई ऐसी डिवाइस नहीं है कि जिसके अंदर 3-4 आइटम एक साथ ना हो। इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स भी चाहिए, आईटी भी चाहिए, मैकेनिकल भी चाहिए, इलेक्ट्रिकल भी चाहिए। हर एक डिवाइस को बनाने के लिए हर तरह की विद्या की जानकारी जरूरी है। केवल एक ही विद्या पढ़ने की क्या ज़रूरत है? पैसे तुम्हारे लग ही रहे हैं तो सारी चीज़ पढ़ लो ना एक साथ। जो आपको सिलेबस बनवाना है उसके लिए प्रोफेसर से बात करो। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir, for your guidance and blessings. Now I request our Honorable Shri Atul Garg ji and Shri Shirish Agarwal ji, Honorable Member of Management, to felicitate our Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Gaurav Bawa, Senior Vice President, India Group, Vaika Group. हमारी थीम डिज़ाइन डेवलपमेंट एंड सस्टेनेबल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग विकसित भारत 2047 के अनुरूप जो गांव की कला और देसी परंपराओं को बढ़ावा देता है, आज हम झारखंड की पारंपरिक सोहराय पेंटिंग अपने माननीय अतिथि को सम्मान और आभार के रूप में भेंट कर रहे हैं। सोहराय पेंटिंग झारखंड की महिलाओं द्वारा बनाई जाने वाली दीवार कला है जिसमें जानवरों, प्रकृति और जीवन की खुशियों को रंगों के जरिए दर्शाया जाता है। यह कला भारत की संस्कृति, सादगी और रचनात्मकता की सच्ची पहचान है। I request our Honorable Director Academics, Dr. Adesh Kumar Pandey, to felicitate our guest of honor, Shri Pranay Garg, Managing Director at Advance Walls. I take the privilege to request our Honorable Dr. Manoj Goyal, Executive Director, KIET Group of Institutions, to felicitate our guest of honor, Shri I.V. Rao, Distinguished Fellow, TERI, the Energy and Resource Institute. I request Honorable Director Academics, Dr. Adesh Kumar Pandey, to felicitate our guest of honor, Shri U.D. Bangale, Executive Director, SAE NIS. I request Dr. Anurag Gupta, Dean Student Welfare, to felicitate our guest of honor, Shri Kuldeep Tyagi ji, Founder and CEO, Saraka Solutions Private Limited. I request Dr. Ashish Karnawal, Dean Mechanical Engineering Department, to kindly give a hearty accost to our Honorable Shri Atul Garg ji, the navigator of this flagship, whose constant support and encouragement has brought us where we are today. हमारी थीम डिजाइन, डेवलपमेंट एंड सस्टेनेबल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग विकसित भारत 2047 के अनुरूप जो गांव की कला और देसी परंपराओं को बढ़ावा देती है, आज हम झारखंड की पारंपरिक सोहराई पेंटिंग अपने माननीय अतिथि को सम्मान और आभार के रूप में भेंट कर रहे हैं। I request Dean Electrical and Electronics Engineering to give a hearty accost to our Honorable Shri Shirish Agarwal ji, our Honorable Member of Management, a leader who doesn't just lead from the front but stands firmly beside us. मैं बताना चाहूंगी, सोहराई पेंटिंग झारखंड की महिलाओं द्वारा बनाई जाने वाली दीवार कला है, जिसमें जानवरों, प्रकृति और जीवन की खुशियों को रंगों के जरिए दर्शाया जाता है। यह कला भारत की संस्कृति, सादगी और रचनात्मकता की सच्ची पहचान है। Now I request Dr. Binki Shrivastava, Dean MBA, to felicitate our guest, Ms. Seema Tyagi, Board Member and Executive Director of Saraka Solutions. She has been instrumental in the growth of Saraka Solutions since founding of the company. She has been mentoring and advisory of Saraka Solutions for its integrity and fairness. I take the privilege to request Dr. Ashish Karnawal, Dean Mechanical Engineering, to kindly welcome our guest Sri Umang Gupta, Head Operations Vika Group, a seasoned professional in the operations management who has been leading the charge as the Head of Operations for Ghaziabad-based manufacturing plant at Vika, India for over 16 years. Now I take the privilege to request Dr. Rekha Kashyap, Dean CSAI and AIML, to welcome our guest, Ms. Anushka Sharma, Head of Human Resource and Administration, Vika, India. She is seasoned HR leader with over 3 decades of experience in the automotive and engineering industries. She is recognized for her global perspective, strategic acumen, and ability to build strong business partnerships. Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Dr. Vaibhav Sachan, Dean Electronics and Communication Engineering, to kindly present vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. It is indeed an honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks at the inaugural session of National Conclave on Synergy 205, Building Bridges Between the Industry and Academia. On behalf of CAI Group of Institutions, I extend my heartfelt gratitude for our chief guest, Sri Gaurav Babaji, Senior Vice President, India Group, Vika Group, for gracing the occasion and inspiring us with your insightful address. Your words have truly set the tone for the meaningful dialogues and collaborations. Our sincere thanks to our guest of honor, Sri Pranay Garg ji, Sri Kuldeep Tyagi ji, Sri I.B. Rao ji, Sri Yudi Bangala ji, for the sharing your valuable perspective and for motivating our young students, engineers to think innovatively and act responsibly towards the sustainable growth. We express our deep sense appreciation to our management members, Sri Atul Garg ji, Chairman Governing Board, CAI Group of Institutions, Chairman TVI KITE and Member of Parliament, Government of India, Sri Shirish Agarwal ji, Chairman Krishna Charitable Society, Dr. Manoj Goyal sir, Executive Director, Dr. Adish Kumar Pandey sir, for their constant support, guidance, and visionary leadership that continue to propel the kite to the new heights. A special note of thanks to our deans, faculty members, participants from the other institutes, students, coordinators, whose dedication and the teamwork have made the meaningful inaugural session for a grand success. My thanks also goes to the admin department, ITSS department, and the media persons for directly or indirectly contributed in the events. As we are move ahead to with the session of this conclave, let us carry forward the message of collaborations, sustainability, and design excellence, building a strong bridge between the academia industry for the Viksit Bharat 2024. Thank you all once again for your guidance and gracious presence and contribution for this meaningful events. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request everyone to kindly stand for national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Kindly take your seats for the upcoming sessions.
The laptop is here for my presentation.
आपका session है ना sir? Yes, we have the laptop.
Do you have remote also?
Remote
Slides.
बुला लेते, अभी मंगवा लेंगे.
Remote है क्या? Slides. हाँ, remote है sir.
Now I hand over the mic to our brilliant student, Miss Anshi, to commemorate the session.
नहीं आप भेजा है कुछ बंद करवा दो
किसको नहीं
The curriculum is not in line with what's happening in the industry. As a result, the engineers joining various organizations have to be trained for a long time to make them useful in terms of contributing to what the organization does. So SA India has an engineering education board which organizes various events for students like competition like Baha, Supra, FE Cycle, etc., where the team of students from different colleges conceive, design and also make the prototype, which would be checked, and then the vehicle would be run on a test track to check its durability, based on which the winners are declared. The basic intention is that students should go through the whole process of how things are planned and executed. This also helps the students in working as a team. Also, we organize various technical sessions, etc., to expose students and also the professionals in the industry to latest technologies, change in technologies happening in the industry, etc. Right now, auto industry is at a crossroads, and there are a lot of technological changes happening in the industry because of the change in the source of energy for the automobiles. I will come to the details later. So this is a good opportune time for all the professionals and engineers, students, to cash on these opportunities to play a critical role in doing things which are required to meet this transition. I would briefly talk about Indian auto industry, how it evolved over years, very briefly, and then talk mainly about the energy transition happening in India. So, it's very difficult to talk about evolution of Indian auto industry without talking about Maruti. Before Maruti came into existence, there were hardly 2-3 manufacturers who were making passenger cars and 2 manufacturers making two-wheelers, and everything was controlled by government, including the number of vehicles what can be made. And there used to be long waiting for even a two-wheeler, especially Bajaj Auto. And people used to say that if you book today, your grandson will get the delivery of the vehicle. It was that long a waiting. And Maruti Udyog Limited, which originally was Maruti Limited, which was started by Mr. Sanjay Gandhi, who was second son of our Prime Minister, late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. He had a dream to make a passenger car, people's car, for 10,000 rupees. So he prepared some prototypes and set up the plant what is there in Gurgaon now, where Maruti Udyog Limited started its operations. Unfortunately, he died in an air crash in 1980, and subsequently the Maruti Limited was nationalized by the government and Maruti Udyog Limited was formed. Then there was a search for technology provider. After considering various automobile manufacturers, Europe and Japan, Suzuki Motor Corporation was shortlisted to be the joint venture partner, and joint venture was formed on 2nd October 1982. And in 14 December 1983, the first car was released. This is Srimati Indira Gandhi giving away the keys of the first car to Mr. Harpal Singh from Delhi. This was a big transformative change what happened in Indian auto industry, which totally revolutionized not only automobiles but also the component manufacturing, and the present state of auto industry is mainly because of what happened with startup Maruti Udyog Limited in collaboration. After launch of Maruti 800, subsequent every year different models were launched by Maruti, the van, the Gypsy, etc., and also new model of Maruti 800. This is what actually government also started, permitted foreign direct investment in automobile industry. As a result, most of the vehicle manufacturers from different countries have set up their facilities in India to make their models in India for Indian customers. With the entry of every new manufacturer in India, the choice for the customers has increased, and also the basic awareness of Indian customers and expectations also changed drastically with years. When Maruti started, we were wanting to buy the components from that time component manufacturers who were supplying to Hindustan Motors and Premier Automobiles. Unfortunately, the components made by Indian vendors that time, in most cases, were not able to meet the quality standards as per Suzuki requirements, which Maruti adopted. So we had to work with the component manufacturers to upgrade the basic design of the parts and also the quality of these parts and meet the volume requirements required. This is one of the major changes which happened in the auto industry in the component sector. Why is not coming? I thought so. Are you able to hear me? Yeah? Beginning, eh?
Please check this one.
क्या हुआ?
इसकी बैटरी लो हो गई.
Hello?
डेड हो गई सर. You can use the hand mic. मैं इसको चेंज करवा देता हूँ. मैं इसको चेंज करता हूँ. You can use the hand mic. Sorry sir.
If you compare, If you compare Maruti Udyog Limited, which was formed as a joint venture with technology transfer from a Japanese company, and the way it succeeded in Indian industry, you compare with what happened with many other government public sector companies which were getting technology from outside for their projects. What made the difference in Maruti was when joint venture was formed, it was decided that in addition to the technical details and know-how, we'll also get all the systems and procedures what are followed in Japan, and also daily working systems made all the difference to Maruti. Like Maruti was the first to introduce the common uniform for all levels of employees, common canteen where same food is eaten by all members starting from MD downwards, and open seating where there are no cabins, and irrespective of the designation, everybody sits in open along with his colleagues who are working with him. So these, though they look very simple now, these initiatives made all the difference to the way Maruti evolved. And in my 36 years of stay in Maruti, I had seen auto industry, especially passenger car industry, grow from less than 1 lakh in 80s to almost 4 million passenger cars last year. And the variety of models which are available for customer to choose from is more than 190 models. And with reference to the regulatory things, India is at par with most developed countries like Europe. Initially, a vehicle was supposed to be a mode of travel from one place to other. And customers used to look for value for money, and of course quality and reliability. From that, it changed to how the design is, whether it's aggressive or conventional, etc., and what technology is being deployed in the vehicles, and also how exciting is the drive. So the basic expectations of the customers continuously change over years. This is just to give you an idea. In an automobile, most of the parts are regulated in terms of there is a corresponding standard which has to be met by these parts, and there is a certification of the vehicle by test agencies like ARI or ICAT. And unless the vehicles comply with all these requirements, you cannot sell the vehicle in the market. So there are a lot of controls the way the vehicle can be designed and configured. These standards basically cover not only the functional requirements but also safety, environmental, etc. In the transportation, we have what is called personalized transport or public transport. And over the years, there's not much change what has happened in the way we are commuting from place to place. And unfortunately, in India, public transport is not up to the expectations. As a result, it is last resort as a choice because the expected comfort or convenience is not provided by the public transport what is available in now. And also, they are not able to cater for the total requirement of people who want to use public transport. As a result, there is a lot of there are too many people trying to get into a public transport vehicle. World over, auto industry is going through major disruptions. The vehicle is not only being a personalized transport, but also we are seeing more and more of shared mobility. And then there are a lot of connectivity requirements which are which are demanded by the customers. And also various organizations are working on autonomous vehicles, which would mean that the vehicle would not have any driver driving the vehicle, and once the route is set, the vehicle will go through roads to reach the destination without any problem. Unfortunately, in India, to opt for autonomous driving is very, very difficult or risky, because most of the road users, like all of us, don't follow the traffic rules, or we have any discipline. We neither have lane driving etiquette, nor we maintain the minimum distance between the vehicles, nor we stop at the signals, and everybody wants to drive the vehicle on road as he wants. As a result, if you have autonomous vehicles on road, the computer will get into do loop, and it will not know what to do, because it's so confusing situation on the road. So, as far as autonomous driving is concerned, I think India is still not ready for this, and it is in all your hands to become a disciplined driver when you start driving vehicles, and some of you must be driving already. So please follow traffic rules and stop at all signals when required. I mean, that will help a lot of things, and also avoid accidents. And also the electric mobility, which is required to reduce or contain the CO2 emissions which come out of the vehicles, because CO2 emissions will deplete the ozone layer and impact the global warming. So the whole world is working towards reducing the carbon footprint of what they are doing. It's not just limited to auto industry, but also all other manufacturing processes, etc. So every time what we are doing has a carbon footprint. If I am using my car from my home to reach here, I have generated so much of carbon dioxide, which is harmful for ozone layer. In India, based on what is happening globally, this is what is required for India: connected, shared and electric. And also looking at the various issues related to electric vehicles, it is felt that most of these liquid fuels and gas fuels are going to coexist with EVs for a long time, till the EVs become affordable and everybody is comfortable to use a electric vehicle. This is basically to give you an idea what goes into an electric vehicle. The total powertrain would be different, and there is no exhaust system, because it is the battery which would be powering the electric motor which would drive the vehicle, and there is no exhaust gases. So the roadside emissions from electric vehicle are not there. So that is a great contribution to improving the air quality what we are breathing, and with IC vehicles, this is the biggest concern. All forecasts have indicated that auto industry is going to grow threefold by 2030, and it's a continuous growth curve which is being predicted for auto industry. Auto industry in the world is considered as indication of the economy of the country. So if auto industry is growing, that means the economy of the country is good. However, increase in automobiles with IC powertrain has some issues. Generally, with increase in numbers, there's a lot of congestion on the road, and average speed of movement of the vehicles is very low. I mean, this we are experiencing already in Delhi and other cities. And the most important aspect is the tailpipe emissions. Tailpipe emissions coming from a IC engine has carbon monoxide, HC, NOx and particulates which are very harmful for the health. And also India is one of the top 15 countries where the number of accidents are very, very high, and also is very unfortunate that we have almost 150,000 fatalities every year. 150,000 fatalities would mean 500 air crashes every year, which is very, very, very high, and it's a very big concern because we are losing lot of productive man-hours, productive people in accidents. From sustainability, I am from TERI, so TERI works on all aspects of sustainability. If I consider from sustainability point of view, what could be solution for the various issues what I just mentioned for automobiles? Avoid what is not good. So right now what we are discussing is about transportation. So we should minimize or avoid unnecessary movement of people and material. During COVID days, we were not allowed to go out, so we all thought that everything will stop, but we were able to continue with a lot of activities without going out of our house. We could remotely control many of the activities. Of course, everything cannot be done sitting at home, but there are a lot of things which can be done. So the first principle of sustainability is to avoid what is not good. Then comes shift. If you are using a particular mode, you can shift to a better mode which would reduce what is not good. For example, if you are using a personalized vehicle, you shift to public transport. The CO2 emissions per person traveling in a public transport would be much less compared to what will happen if it's a personalized vehicle. And improve is, if you are using a IC vehicle, if you improve the efficiencies or reduce the emissions, then it would be better. Also, alternate technologies which are now available would also improve the overall carbon footprint of what we are doing. This is what is the trend basically in terms of we are looking for more fuel efficient, low emissions, more safer and lightweighting. Lightweighting is important because the resources what you use also have respective carbon footprint. So lower the weight of the overall components what we are using, that means the carbon footprint is lower. Right now, government is focusing on how to achieve energy security. Till 2000, we were all having only liquid fuels like gasoline and diesel. And in 1998, the natural gas was mandated has been declared as a fuel for automobiles also. So, in Supreme Court has mandated use of compressed natural gas for use on the taxis and buses in NCR. And subsequently, it was spread to other locations where natural gas pipeline was there. where all the taxis and buses run on CNG. At present, after almost 20 years of start of CNG as an alternate fuel, there is a penetration of about 19% in overall passenger cars. And one of the manufacturers has almost 30% of its vehicles in CNG mode. CNG has better carbon footprint compared to gasoline or diesel, and the emissions from the roadside emissions from CNG vehicles is also less compared to gasoline, and also it is cheaper compared to gasoline and diesel. The liquid fuels what we use for automobiles, the gasoline and diesel, are refined from crude, and about 85% of our crude requirements are made through imports. So every year, considering the whatever new vehicles come into the market, the requirement of crude increases continuously, because the fleet of vehicles which are on road continuously increase. So the government in 2016 came out with electrification of automobiles with two targets. One, to reduce the crude which is required for gasoline and diesel by using electricity for powering automobiles. As a result, as I mentioned, EVs have no tailpipe emission, so they are indirectly going to improve the air quality. And with good recycling of used battery, we will be able to recirculate the rare earth materials which are required for making the cells, so that our initial import of these materials for making cells and battery will come down subsequently. Also, CNG right now, our power what we use for the electricity what we get is mostly from thermal stations which use coal as the source of energy. So there is lot of emissions from these thermal stations. However, government is very aggressively pursuing installation of solar panels for harvesting the solar energy for electricity generation. So right now the grid has a mix of almost 50% power from thermal stations and remaining from non-fossil fuel sources like hydropower, nuclear power, and also solar installations. In addition, government also is now blending ethanol, which is a product from molasses and also other agricultural waste, which is being blended with gasoline, so that the amount of gasoline required for automobiles also goes down, and as a result the crude requirements also will go down. So right now we are with 20% blending of ethanol in the gasoline. Some of the problems we have with reference to adoption of electric vehicles is the battery, which is the source of energy, is very, very costly. As a result, at current price of these batteries, the total product cost goes very high, and in some sectors, the product becomes unviable. And also it requires imported rare earth materials for making the cells. And of course, charging infrastructure needs to be set up to facilitate charging when required. And one of the bigger concern for the user is the range. The range electric vehicle can move will depend upon the capacity of the battery, which actually plays a major role in overall cost of the electric vehicle. So if we have to optimize on the battery side, then we need to have charging infrastructure well established and available at all major highways and in India at present, two-wheelers and three-wheelers electric vehicles have seen good penetration, and especially in three-wheelers is almost 34% now, and in two-wheelers is about 10+%, and we hope this will become nearer to 30% by 2030. Unfortunately, in case of passenger cars, as I mentioned, the electric passenger car, because of the battery size, will make the price positioning very, very difficult, and this is not viable for most customers. And right now, most of the parts which are required for electric vehicles are being imported, like cells, the motor, the controllers, etc. And government has come out with a PLI scheme to encourage people to invest for making cells and battery and also motors, etc. The automobiles have a lot of controllers which control various operations, the battery management system, the motor controller, and also the vehicle control system, etc. And they all need a lot of softwares to optimize the functioning of different systems and as a result the vehicle. So this is a good opportunity for Indian software engineers and also the electronic chip makers and for catering for these requirements of EV vehicles. As I mentioned, EVs, though there is no tailpipe emissions, because the power which is being used for electric vehicles is also coming from thermal stations. There is a lot of debate whether EVs are the best, because they only shift the emissions from roadside to thermal stations or other places where the electricity is being generated. So, to understand the actual carbon footprint of various technologies what we have, like gasoline vehicles, diesel vehicles, CNG vehicles, or the ethanol blended vehicles using ethanol blended gasoline, and the electric vehicles, we need to do life cycle analysis, which means that you should start with actual materials being made up to the grave, which would mean that end of life of the vehicle, the recycling of various, dismantling and recycling of various aggregates, etc. Only then we would be able to compare which particular powertrain technology is good from point of view of carbon footprint. In case of CNG, government is also promoting biogas generation using the dairy waste and also agricultural waste, which they hope would serve the local requirements of villages through, biogas getting compressed can substitute CNG. I don't know how many of you know, basic biogas is also methane, which is same as natural gas. So biogas, compressed biogas can directly replace CNG. So this would also help reducing the import of natural gas in form of LNG from outside. The other promising alternate fuel is hydrogen. But hydrogen generation and also use as a fuel for IC vehicles and also fuel for fuel cell is still under development, and it all depends how efficient is hydrogen generation in terms of energy and how much it costs. That will decide how hydrogen can be adopted. Otherwise, hydrogen has no other emissions. When you use hydrogen for IC vehicles, what you get out is water vapor. And similarly, in case of fuel cells, you get water vapor as from the fuel cell system. But it is still under development stage, and it will take some time before we really know how hydrogen can economically, environmentally made and used for either fuel for IC vehicles or input for fuel cells. The major challenge what you have in EVs is the cost, and major part of the cost is battery, and batteries are being assembled in India now with imported cells, and also lot of organizations are setting up facilities to make cells in India. So, but the challenge is China has already stabilize their manufacturing systems for making cells, and also they have big volume, and the cost what they have achieved is very, very low. So if we are going to make cells and battery assembly in India, the challenge is how we are going to meet the volumes, and also how the cost parity will be achieved with what we are importing from China. That's a big challenge. And so just localizing what we are importing from China will not help, and we need to work on basic design of various aggregates to optimize the requirements of these systems to meet Indian requirement and Indian conditions. That is the only way we will be able to reduce the cost of these aggregates. So this is a big challenge for all startups, because this can best be addressed by a startup, and if a existing manufacturer supports these startups, we would be able to meet the requirements of volume and the cost. When we started in 80s, there were hardly any electronics in automobiles. With introduction of various emission regulations and also safety systems, the number of computers on a vehicle have gone as high as about 15. And we are now talking about software-driven automobiles. So, in time to come is already, and in time to come, the content of electronics in an automobile is going to increase further, and is no longer automobile a mechanical engineer's creation, but mechanical, electric, electronics, software, all have to work together to come out with a smart automobile which would meet all the requirements of the customer user. So this is the challenge what we have in front of us, and how we are going to address this is the question. Prime Minister during Independence Day speech mentioned that he wants to create in India something, Kavachi mentioned, to safeguard all our defense installations and other important installations. And he clearly mentioned that he has faith in the younger generation to take up this challenge and come out with a product which would be adopted worldwide. So, I mean, all of you who are in engineering colleges or passing out of the colleges, is the right time, and this is the time when to be in India and work for India to address some of these challenges. I don't think you'll have more challenging assignments anywhere else in the world, and everything is happening in India, and India is very soon going to be third largest economy, and in automobiles is already third largest manufacturer of automobiles, and very soon we are working towards further increasing the automobile presence in India, because per capita automobile penetration is still very, very low compared to any developed country. So there is a lot of scope for growth of auto industry, and we have to make our automobiles environment friendly and also economically viable for the masses to adopt automobiles. Automobile can be either two-wheeler or a four-wheeler. So these are the challenges what we have to address. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your valuable insights and experiences with us. From the audience, anyone wants to ask any question, go ahead.
What future opportunities exist for young engineers in the fields of clean mobility and renewable energy, and how can...
Yeah. Actually, as I mentioned in my initial remarks, this is the time when academic institutions and industry have to come together, identify what are the challenges we have in the industry, and try to work together to come out with solutions. Neither academia nor industry separately can do it. And also, the startups will play a very, very important role in triggering this to happen. I think a startup can be a common platform where both academia and industry can come together to support the startup. There's a lot which needs to be done if India has to become the global center for EV manufacturing. Because at present, China has this lead, and they are, literally captured the world market in EVs. So for India to play a major role in EVs, we have to think differently, we have to innovate, and we have to come out with optimal solutions which are good for India. Only then we would be able to give a product which is affordable and also environmentally friendly.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
My name is Saurabh Verma from Mechanical Department. Sir, as you told that we are going to reduce CNG gas to biogas.
Louder.
सर जैसा कि आपने बताया था कि हम लोग सीएनजी से बायोगैस की तरफ जा रहे हैं। सर जैसा कि हमने देखा था गर्मियों के सीज़न में देखते हैं कि जो सीएनजी होती है, सीएनजी गैस जो होती है, वो कभी कभी क्या होती है कि ज़्यादा गर्मी की वजह से वो फट जाती है, मतलब ब्लास्ट हो जाती है गाड़ियों के अंदर। जैसा सर मोस्टली मैंने देखा है, मतलब हमारे साइड में ऐसा हुआ था कि मतलब वो उसके सिलेंडर जो हैं वो फट जा रहे हैं गर्मियों की वजह से, मतलब ज़्यादा हीट की वजह से। तो सर जो बायोगैस है वो क्या वो बेटर ऑप्शन होगा सीएनजी को रिप्लेस करने के लिए?
No. In technical terms, biogas after removing the carbon dioxide which it has is methane, and natural gas is also methane. So they are interchangeable. And coming to your first question, the problems what you are mentioning about blast or bursting of gas pipeline, etc., we had in the initial days when we started conversion of existing vehicles in the market to run on natural gas. But now almost all the manufacturers who are making CNG vehicles are doing it in their own production lines, and you do not have any such cases reported of late.
Okay, thank you, sir. सर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज दैट सर अगर जो कार की बॉडी होती है, सर अगर उस पर हम सोलर पैनल लगा दें, सीट ऑफ सोलर पैनल लगा दें और फिर उसके मतलब गाड़ी के अंदर हम बैटरी को स्टेबल कर दें, तो जो सोलर हीट होगी, सनलाइट होगी, वो सोलर पे अटैक करेगी, वो एनर्जी को एब्जॉर्ब करेंगी, और जो बैटरी होगी वो बैटरी एनर्जी को स्टोर करेगी। तो इससे क्या होगा, जो अभी जो आज की गाड़ी आ रही हैं चार्जेबल बैटरी जो आ रही हैं, सर उससे हम मतलब कॉस्ट को रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी को भी वहाँ से हटा सकते हैं, मतलब लोग चार्जिंग पर नहीं लगाएंगे, सनलाइट से चार्ज हो जाएगी गाड़ी हमारी और बैटरी।
What you are saying is in principle okay, but practically what you are saying cannot happen, because for continuous charging of the battery which is used in electric vehicles, you need much more surface area to have the solar panels to generate enough power required for charging the batteries.
सर जो गाड़ी का सरफेस होता है, फ्रंट सरफेस होता है, सर उस पर हम पैनल लगा सकते हैं और बैक एंड में।
See, you cannot have solar panel everywhere, so normally it can be put only on the roof because that is the place where it gets exposed better. And there is a startup who is making a small car, and he has one variant of his small car with solar panel on the roof. So that saves about some 4 to 5% of energy which he gets from the solar panel. You cannot totally avoid charging by using the solar panel because you need much more surface.
Okay, thank you, sir.
What role does innovation and research play in advancing sustainable transportation in India? And how can first-year engineering students begin their journey in learning about electric vehicles?
Yeah.
Sir, my name is Pankaj Maurya from EC department. Sir, my question was that, सर आपने बोला कि चाइना अपना लिथियम आयन ईवी बैटरी इंडस्ट्री सेटअप कर चुका है, तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है कि हम इंडिया में नहीं सेटअप कर पा रहे हैं? क्योंकि अपनी जितनी इंडिया में ईवी लिथियम आयन बैटरी है वो 70 to 80% चाइना से ही इंपोर्ट की जाती है।
नहीं, इसमें I mean the problem is China started long time back in EVs and they have a lead. The government came out with a electrification program sometime in 2016, and it has taken us some time to actually decide what needs to be done in India. and government is very aggressive on promoting electrification of automobiles, and they are also promoting setting up of cell manufacturing in India, for which they are giving a lot of funds to the people who are coming forward to set up these facilities. But challenge, as I mentioned, is China has that lead over us. Okay, so they already have the volumes of cells. I mean, and also the price positioning of those cells is very low. So to challenge China in terms of volume and cost is the challenge, and we cannot just localize what we are importing from China. We need to think differently, innovate, and come out with the optimum solution for getting better price.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. My name is Parv. I'm from JSS. I'm in mechanical engineering. My question is that we have seen in last years that EV is not doing any much it is not making as much as of impact in reducing the pollution. But when it comes to hydrogen, which is a new field of research for automobiles, where we have seen in Japan, especially Honda, were making engines which are compatible with hydrogen fuel. So why aren't we focusing our field and R&Ds in the space of hydrogen?
See, the debate about EVs being environmentally friendly with a low carbon footprint is a debate which is in progress, which will never get concluded, because every study which has come out assumes different boundary conditions and different life cycle. As a result, every study is coming out with different results. Having said that, with the current mix of renewable and fossil fuel generation of electricity in India, with increase in the solar energy generation, which is happening now, the performance of EVs is bound to continuously improve, unlike other technologies what we have. That's one. Second, with reference to your point on hydrogen, we can make hydrogen both environmentally friendly and also economically viable. Still, research is going on, and the energy efficiency of making hydrogen is extremely important. Otherwise, we may end up spending more energy to get some energy in the form of hydrogen. And hydrogen as a fuel has a lot of advantages in terms of no pollutants coming out of combustion of hydrogen. It is water vapor which comes out. So that is there. But to achieve that, we need hydrogen. And also, in case of hydrogen, the storage and transportation of hydrogen is a big issue. So we need to develop systems to cater for those requirements. All those things will happen because still all the various aspects of hydrogen as a fuel are being developed. So it will take some time before you see hydrogen as a fuel. Definitely there is focus on hydrogen as a fuel, not only for automobiles but for other applications also.
Thank you, sir.
Sir. Oh.
Good morning, sir. Sir, my question is that as around the world, most of the car lovers, they follow IC engines, and I wouldn't say that they hate EV vehicles, but they prefer IC engines over anything. Sir, and as today market and industry as a whole is moving towards EV vehicles, so isn't this a global decline in the real automotive lovers?
No, I mean, what you are saying, I understand, but see, it's a question of how the vehicles get tuned. And already the people who are using electric vehicles are very thrilled about the drive what it offers, because because we are using electric motor as a prime mover and it has a constant torque curve, so the accelerations are extremely good compared to IC vehicle. In case of IC vehicles, especially gasoline, initial torque is very low, so it takes long time to accelerate. So, I mean, it's all question of how vehicles get tuned to cater for different requirements of user.
Yes, sir, but a big part of that affection is not just speed and acceleration, but a personal belonging by tuning and making their own vehicles, which is a very big culture in America.
No, why do you think that can't be done in case of EVs? The way the startups have come up making EVs, which were not there when IC vehicles were there, only means that it's much easier to handle a EV vehicle configuration compared to IC. Making an engine is very, very difficult and takes a lot of time and money, unlike electric powertrain.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Welcome, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, after the deep, insightful session by Shri I.V. Rao ji, we continued our journey of learning with another inspiring leader from the industry. It's an honor to introduce Shri Gaurav Bawa ji, Senior Vice President India at Vaika Group, through a short video. Please team, kindly play the video dedicated to sir.
MBA in Operations and Finance, has worked with Aisha, GE and Schneider Electric. As Senior Vice President of Vika Group, he has led the company's growth and alignment across 4 manufacturing plants. Under his leadership, Vika India earned the VDMA Safety, Sustainability Excellence and Brand of the Year awards, and he was named Best Leader to Watch 2024. He exemplifies leadership built in innovation, integrity and sustainable growth.
Thank you, team. Now, with a great enthusiasm, let's welcome Shri Gaurav Bawa ji to enlighten us with his thoughts and experience. Sir, stage is all yours.
Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the slide, this is the slide as well. All good, thank you. Okay, so it's a privilege to be here with all of you, and I would like to have it more on a workshop style if possible. It'll be difficult, but if you can try and see what I'm going to share right now and ask questions, it will be more interesting. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to share a journey of mine from an engineer to a CEO, and I just was asked to do that some time back, and I had to think about what I can share with you which you can relate with. So I also started as a mechanical engineer, and then today I'm the CEO of this company in India, and I'm going to share some learnings of what I saw during this professional and personal journey of mine. So the intent is to share personally what has helped me in this journey to reach where I am today, and professionally how do I relate to the same. So it'll be good. Please feel free to ask questions. Probably I think as per the format we take it at the end. If you want, we can also do it during the session. So I take you through this, and glad to be here with all of you to share with you. So as I said, it's about success, about how you get success and how you measure success for yourself. You have to define that term success for yourself. And I'm going to share what I thought about and how I went about it. First and foremost, from my perspective, on a personal side, what we measure and what we look at is this model which has these three aspects to it. So we are talking of knowledge, skill and attitude. Okay? So when you're in this institute today, you gain knowledge, you are taught certain subjects, you have not practiced it to this extent, you don't have the exposure, and over time you will gain experience, exposure, and you will attain the skill of taking those decisions, of understanding what affects how. What is the foundation? The foundation is the attitude. Your attitude to learn, your attitude to move ahead, your attitude to be positive, your attitude, willingness to change. So it's all about the attitude. So when we are recruiting people today in an organization, and that's why you need to be flexible today, because obviously there will be people who will be in the organization who are better than you in terms of knowledge, in terms of their skill. So the foundation, what I felt always was that you have to have a great attitude and you have to work with that attitude. And if you have the attitude, you can acquire the knowledge and you can acquire the skill. But if you do not have the attitude, which is the foundation, then it is very difficult to get to where you are today. So that's the prime focus. And the other aspect on a personal journey is that you need to have a higher purpose. So today when we are sitting here, when I was your age, let us say, everybody thinks about, I want to get into this job. And what do you think about it? You think about how much that job should pay you. What is the end of that journey? And that is a purpose that you define for yourself today. You know where you want to be. I want this job in this organization. If I get this, this is the best for me. You get the passion of the job only when you have a higher purpose. It does not come from smaller objectives. So when I started my career, and over a period of time, so you know your objectives, your higher purpose also would change, and you also evolve over a period of time. But I used to think, can I be a CEO at the age of 45? It was not about money, it was not about this, it was more about excellence. If I want to do something, I want to create a benchmark. I want to be different. Can I create a benchmark? Can I create something different? Can I be leading something in a different manner, whatever I'm into? And that was the purpose. And I wanted to be a CEO at 45. I became at 47. I was a few years later than what I thought. But I had something in mind. So the question to all of you is, do you have something in mind what you want to achieve? And do you have some higher purpose rather than only a smaller objective? And you can start with it. You will not get clarity when you start your journey as a young graduate engineer. The other aspect, which is very important on a personal journey, is there is a model which we believe is the body, mind, and intellect. And all three are important. So today you see people are very fitness conscious. Okay, so that's good. You look after yourself. If you're not healthy, and especially after age, we will not be able to perform and we will not be able to think very clearly in our job. And in our job also, today at whatever age you are there, till the last day of when you're working in an organization, the demands are very high, mentally, physically, everything. So you have to look after your body, and which is the physical aspect of it. The second aspect, what you see, is about the mind. So what do you do about your mind? How do you keep it stable? How do you keep it peaceful? How do you keep yourself happy today? Which is very difficult again. So people do different things. So you have to stimulate your mind. People read books, whether it is in a digital form or still in a physical book form. You are upgrading yourself all the time. You are working with yourself and looking at how to be mentally stable, mentally peaceful. And finally, it's the body, mind, and intellect. And the intellect has nothing to do with religion, but it is more spiritual. So when you look at the intellect piece, you always have something in your life which you hold on to very strongly, which takes you forward. So there will be times in your life when the situation will be very, very difficult in your personal lives, can be any time. And the only thing which takes you forward during that time is your spiritual aspect, which keeps you very strong, because you have gone through that through practice. So there are various ways of doing it, but I'm just showing you that do not forget, it is not only the body, it is not only the mental, but also the body, mind, and intellect. All three important, and you will have different phases of life and you will work on each of them. Sometimes your work takes precedence and you do not have time for exercising, keeping yourself fit. There will be times where you'll balance it out. But very important that it is not either or. I cannot only work on my physical aspect and I do not grow mentally. I have to grow mentally, I have to take myself forward. In our organization, we ask our people always, that do you know what is happening in the industry today? Are you updated with the trends of the industry? How do you keep yourself updated with the latest? We all today in the organization, if we are not updated, if we are not keeping ourselves up to date, we will be left behind. We will not be able to lead the organizations where we are today, where the change is very, very fast. Everything is changing very fast. Today we are all connected. We are completely, you can see everything online all the time. So it's not about data, it's not about this, it's about how we keep ourselves stimulated, thinking about mentally and spiritually. So like I said, the foundation for us on the personal journey, for me, was always the attitude piece and keeping yourself aware. And this is what I call as self-awareness. I have to be self-aware. I have to know for myself, what am I doing to take myself forward in this journey of body, mind, and intellect? How do I progress? How do I evolve? And there is a stage of evolution. Today, physically, you are at a certain level. How do you take yourself physically to be fitter than where you are today? Similarly, at a mind level, how do you do that? And similarly, at a spiritual level, how you do that? So, it is an interesting journey and it is evolution and it does not happen in one day, but you have to be aware and conscious to the fact. And if you're conscious, what does all this provide you with? If you're healthy, if you're good with your mind, stability, it gives you peace of mind and it gives you clarity of thought. And what do we need today? All of us need to know where I want to go. How will I achieve it? What are the steps? And how do you get that clarity? Only when you have these aspects, when you're learning every time, you're learning every day. And this gives you clarity of thought to define and to chart your own destiny. And that is what I was trying to do during my career. So as you see, I started as a mechanical engineer, went on to do MBA. After that, I started my career in manufacturing. Though I had done management, I was a management graduate, I could have started with something. I did some consulting for a very short time, but then I felt I had to go back to manufacturing, and because I was an engineer. And from doing mechanical engineering, I shifted after a couple of, about 6 years, I shifted to quality. I became a Six Sigma black belt with General Electric. So I started in automobile, went to General Electric. After that, I became head of quality. So I shifted from manufacturing to quality. And when you see the journey further, I would go back to my superior and my boss, and I still tell all the youngsters who come into the organization, if you are not clear about your career, your bosses are never clear about your career. So you have to be clear what you want to do. I would go to my superior, my boss, and say, this is what I want to do after the next 2 years, or this is what I would like to do next.
And then when the opportunity came, I used to get it. So I could shift from manufacturing to quality. And the biggest transition I did ever was, I asked my boss one day that I want to do now sales. And this is when he was laughing at me, thinking that, this guy is crazy because he is from a manufacturing background. And I had only done back end, which means quality, manufacturing. I had no idea of commercial. I had no idea of sales that time. But I was very clear that if I do not get this commercial experience, I will never reach where I wanted to reach. So you have to be clear with the end in mind. Your end in mind should be clear where you want to reach. Accordingly, you make your steps. You have to have clarity of thought. And I would go back and ask him. And the day the opportunity was there, fortunately for me, somebody trusted me. And the next most important thing is you have to perform. If you're performing, if you're doing very well in an organization, the organization is willing to take a risk with you. Otherwise, nobody will take the risk. So you have to be performing. People should have confidence and trust in you. And one day I became the head of sales and marketing for the same organization where I was heading quality. After that, of course, like I was telling you, I thought about I have to lead a small organization because now I know manufacturing, I knew quality, I have worked in these functions mainly, as well as sales and marketing. So can I lead a small organization as the P&L? And that's where I shifted to another organization where I am today, which is Vika, where I got this opportunity to experiment as a business leader for Vika, for one unit of Vika, which was ideal for me because I was not a business leader, I was not handling a big operation. And from there, after another 2 years, I got this opportunity to have the entire India for Vika, and that's where I am for the last now 8 years with Vika. So this was a great progression. It was exactly how I wanted it to happen. But like I shared with you, it was all because of personal clarity about what I wanted to do. And very important, what you see here is what we talk in Vika also today is willingness to change. If you are today thinking that I will do only this, stay in this safe zone because this is what I know, it's very difficult. You have to be willing to experiment with yourself and give yourself that exposure, that opportunity to do something different. And that is what you see. I was confident that I would take a challenge and I will experiment and see what happens. And it is not easy every time. There was one time I remember in my career where the CEO called me and said, can you go to France and shut down the plant in France? I was a very young guy in GE, and they said, shut down the plant in France and shift it to India. I had no experience of shutting down plants. That too in France. I don't know French language. I did not know even the product, which is called the air circuit breaker that time. And I was given 1 week, only 1 week in GE. He told me, go and see this plant in South. It was in Pondicherry. Go and see this air circuit breaker, what it is. I said, okay. And then you fly to France and shut down the plant. And then you transfer everything to India. And then you establish the full plant in India, develop the parts, and we have to export this air circuit breaker back to France. Also because it was used in nuclear reactors and everywhere. So this air circuit breaker was important. So I thought it was a very difficult challenge. I had no clue. There was a senior team sitting in France and I got this challenge. But again, like I said, it's important for you to have that confidence in yourself and take the plunge. So I went ahead just to see how it works. It was a very, very tough project. I had to shift. I had to change again a lot in myself to do that activity. I had to shift my base from Delhi to, I was told, you'll be in Bangalore. I said, okay, nice city. We can try that out. So I went to Bangalore and very soon I realized it will not work because the plant was to be put in Pondicherry. I had to immediately shift my base to Pondicherry. I decided, nobody else decided for me, and I said, I cannot do this back and forth. It will never work. I will fail in this project. You yourself decide over a period of time what will work, not work. Nobody tells you. They made it easy for me to shift me from Delhi to a nice city, Bangalore, but it never worked. I had to stay in a very small place like a Pondicherry that time to set up this project, and I spent a lot of time in France. I had to make connections. Today you're talking of synergy here. I had to really make connections with the French people who knew the plant is going to get shut, who had to transfer the technology to me for India, and then we had to do this entire business from India. So again, be aware, it's interesting to get into challenges, it is interesting to push yourself to the limit, and what I believe is in this curve, you know, this is what we were taught also at GE during that time, which we call as the S curve. And what is this S curve? This S curve basically talks about that when you start any operation today, any job today, there is an exponential or very fast learning in the beginning, like the S. You start learning very exponentially, but then after a period of time, it flattens out, the S flattens out. So you should know when you have stopped learning. You should know that I am not learning, I am not adding value to myself or the organization beyond a period of time. And if you know that, then you look for the next opportunity. And then you start the new S curve. You start the new S. You get into a new area, responsibility, job, whatever it might be. And it is not necessary to change jobs. Today we feel, you know, I get into a job, and I want to switch very fast. I want to get into the second job. I want to get into a third job. And this is because obviously for financial or some other reason you will run faster. Possible. But you have to be aware of the fact you can do the same thing in the same organization also. You can have the same S curve like I did. I was with the GE and that business for 17 years. And they allowed me to do everything in the same organization, from quality, Six Sigma, sales, everything. You can do that also in the same organization. The other aspect, which is very important, is when you shift very, very fast from one job to the other, your learning cycle is never complete. Today, when I am there in a certain job, I am working on something, I experiment something, like you are doing here today. There is some time which takes you to build an EV vehicle here, to make a drone today. If I learn something and jump to the next, my learning is not complete. I have experimented something and I don't know the effect of that something. I don't know whether it was right, it was wrong. And that is why it is important to spend some adequate amount of time as per you, where you complete that learning cycle, where you have implemented something and you have now learnt from that experience. And then you move forward in the same organization, wherever, or different organizations. But like you see, we have a S curve, and you can do it in the same organization or wherever, but you should be aware of the fact. Now, I'm taking you, so I took you through some discussion about a personal journey and how I look at it personally today. What makes a difference? How do you charter your course in an organization? And now I come on to the professional side. What do you do in an organization? In an organization, this is what we do today in Vika. We have a mission statement, vision statement. We also have values. We make a strategy for this organization. We divide the strategy into objectives, activities, then we assign people there in the organization those activities to do. So I'm going to show you that a personal journey and a professional journey is very similar. If you have clarity of thought and the way you look at a personal journey, what you did, the same thing you will do in an organization as well. I said, on a personal front, you think of a higher purpose. What do you do in a professional space? You look at a mission of a company. You say, why do we exist as a company? So Vika says we are to make superior instrumentation solutions for our customers. So you define the higher purpose for self and for the same you do for the company. I said on a personal front, attitude is the foundation. It is the foundation for what we do today. When you look at a company, the company defines values, which is the foundation of a company. Why does the company do that? So that everybody is aligned. Everybody is of the same behavior pattern so that it's easy. What is the value system of a company? So same thing happens on a company front. I talked of, I have to be self-aware. I should know what am I doing today? How do I reach to the next level? And that's what I said was self-awareness. And when you look at companies, what do the companies do? They do SWOT analysis. So if you've heard, SWOT is nothing else but strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. Okay? So companies do exactly this. I look at it from a personal standpoint. Companies do it officially with seeing what is my strength in the company. How do I utilize my strength? How do I improve on my weakness? How do I use the opportunities? And that is what is interesting. So you see everywhere there is the journey is the same. If you understand the fundamental, what do? We are upgrading ourselves with exposure, with knowledge, with skills. And even in an organization, we do the same by attracting talent, by investing in that talent, by training the same people. So we do exactly the similar processes. So this is, when you look at a personal or a professional journey, it is exactly similar. If you understand the fundamentals don't change in life. They remain the same everywhere. You have to work on the same. If you realize it, it is just the same. It works like that. The only thing to understand here is, it is a step-by-step approach. Okay, so it is not, you can't do it overnight. It will take you time, and give yourself that much time to go step by step. The other aspect which we hear a lot today is the work-life balance, because you are either too much into your work scenario or too much into your personal, but both are so important because the one affects the other, and we all know that. And after a period of time, you will see it more than what we can visualize, because if you're not happy in your personal life, it affects your work. If you're not happy in your professional life, it will affect your personal life. So very important again, once you've understood this personal and professional journey of yours, you should learn how to balance it well. Once you're in work, we give 110% to the work. Once we are at home, we should try and disconnect, I would say, to the 100% if possible, to get out of what you did at the office. And that is a tough job to do. But again, very important, otherwise it affects you mentally, physically again. Finally, I want to leave you with one or two more things. And one of it is, it's an endless game. So what do? You talk of today, you reach a position and you now think of the next position. But then that is not good enough. Then you look at the next further position. So when I was looking after 100 crore company, okay, I said, what next? I'm a CEO now. So then you say, okay, 500. Then you say 1,000. Then you say, why not 5,000? Why should I not do 10,000 crore company? So you have to realize it's like driving a car. When you're driving a car, it's very interesting. You have 4, 5, you see the 5 cars in front of you, and you race and you get in front of those 5 cars. And you feel very nice. You feel you have won from those 5 people who you left behind. And you're saying that they're fools because they don't know how to drive. They're very slow. They're wasting your time. And then when you're ahead of those 5 people, 5 cars, you see another 5 cars. And this never ends. Those 5 cars are still in front of you. You have to define your journey, and you have to be satisfied mentally with yourself of what you've achieved, where you are at that point in time. So do not get into this endless game, because this game never ends. And you have to be aware of this fact. Wherever you are, you should be in a happy space. You should feel accomplished by what you have achieved in that place at that point in time, and you should feel happy about the small wins, step by step, what you have achieved, because that destination will never come, because you will again change the goalpost. From 500 you'll say 1000, from 1000 you'll say 5000, and it never shifts, it never stops. So be aware of this fact. It is interesting, this game is interesting to play, but if you're not aware, you get so involved in this game that you are just racing all the time and you have no time for yourself. So be careful with this fact. And finally, we do a lot of strategy, we think a lot, we do a lot on a piece of paper, we sit in boardrooms, we discuss a lot. But one thing which is very, very critical is execution. You decide so many things in life, what you want to do yourself, you're not able to achieve it. I would always think, I have a personal goal. Some of us, we made personal goals on how to be more fit. We would always not reach there. It is difficult with the time involvement we have at work or something else. So, how can we be disciplined in execution is the key word. You can all make so many New Year resolutions, you can make so many things, but the crux finally at the end of the day in an organization where you're working is, can you execute what you decided to? And that is the toughest part, which we call as disciplined execution, and that makes you effective or ineffective. So that is the final piece which I leave you with, and that's the story of why and where I am today. And I hope I could impart, if you got anything out of this, I will be happy if you can take it with you. And thanks a lot for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such an enlightening and inspiring talk that broadened our technical and industrial perspective. If anyone wants to ask any question, you can ask.
So, of course, you are hearing a lot of management stuff from personal and from an engineer today here. So, I'm not talking of engineering here today. I did see a lot of good stuff when I went in your institute, where you see so much of practical stuff, what you're doing with different organizations. It was great to see what you're doing today, and it's nice to see the practical aspect. So, congratulations to all of you for what you're doing here and achieving on that front. I know the subject is a bit difficult to absorb for some, but it'll be interesting if some of you can ask certain questions. Yes, please. Thank you.
Greetings, sir. I'm Amir Arfin from ELCA department. You mentioned about work-life balance. So there are two sides of the coin. Firstly, in Finland, the youngest Prime Minister, Sanna Marin, has advocated for a 4-day work week, and which is mostly like 6 to 8 hours working, right? Whereas in India, we see Mr. Narayan Murthy, he's advocating for 70 hours work week. So I want your opinions on what should be the ideal working hours, and not just for CEOs and vice presidents or presidents for the company, but for the employees and for the people who are in higher position, because the working hours should be different for both of these, right? So what are your opinions on that?
So, see, my opinion is there is no one size shoe which fits all. If life was so easy, you could say 30 hours, 50 hours, 70 hours, and it fits everybody. It never happens, like what you said. It depends on where you are in your journey and what is the demand of where you are today. So, like I said, are you clear about what you want to achieve? Mr. Narayan Murthy had a passion, let's say, and he has a passion to achieve something as a higher purpose. He was not after money. He never thought when he started his journey he will make this empire, and does he spend it today? No. So it's not about that. It was his passion which was driving him that time, and that is what you have to understand. And with that passion, the hours never mattered. It was not a question of how many hours I'm spending today. He was not noting down the hours. It was his passion which was driving him, which is the higher purpose here. So it depends on you, your physical, your mental ability at that point in time, which allows you to do this activity. Today, if I'm passionate about a job, I don't feel it's a job. I can spend much more time and I can still balance, and I'm physically or mentally, if I'm fine, I can allow myself to do that today, because this is the requirement to take an organization which he started from X to Y. So I think it is very logical and good. And we all are sometimes in that space. When I was suppose running that project, and I had a huge pressure on me to, as a youngster, to do this big successful project of shutting down a plant and do this. Hours never mattered. I had to make it successful, and it was very important in that point in time. And I have to decide for myself during that time what is okay or not okay to make it successful. Nobody would come and tell you, you have to do this. If you have enough intelligence, you will decide for yourself that time what will make you successful and what you need to do. So some activities do require, but like I said, it should not be the moment the passion, passion driving is different, but the moment it starts affecting your personal everything, and it is not, because like I said, the balance is so important, because if you are not personally happy, it will affect professionally and vice versa. So you make that judgment, you make that call. When you are doing this activity on a professional aspect, I hope and I presume you explain it to your family and personal side. Today, does Mrs. Murthy complained about his 70 hours of work? Is she, really complaining about it? So that's the big question to ask. Did he manage his personal side well, and is he happy even today? So who's complaining? Why are we complaining about his personal aspect when he managed it better than anybody sitting here? And he achieved professionally. So it is his decision. It is how he managed his personal space during that point in time. And later, probably he compensated more than what he did earlier, and he could still do a great job. So I would say, like I said, it's not about number of hours. It's not you put a figure there. We all decide for ourselves at that point in time. And that's why the debate will never end, because people will say you should put more or less hours. And it's not about the number of hours. If I'm able to give quality time, like I love the statement of the Amazon CEO, Jeff Bezos, when he says, the basic purpose of when I come in every day to the office is to make one good decision. I look at myself, did I come in today and make one good decision? And this stayed with me, which is very right. It is not about spending time in this and sitting in the office and doing some work which is of not value. If I am able to take a few good decisions today when I go into the office, which takes the company forward from where it was yesterday, I have done my job. So I don't, or none of us should look at time from that aspect. It is the requirement of what you are doing at that point in time which defines the time. The rest is, if you are doing your job well and a quality job, hours don't matter. I hope I've been able to answer to some extent. Thank you. Yeah, please. I would say good questions. You're making me think also. Very difficult.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
So my name is Saurabh Verma. Sir, after completing BTech, is MBA a better option or not? And how to adopt leadership?
How to adopt leadership?
Yes, sir.
Huh? You said that, correct? Yes. Okay.
And MBA is the better option after BTech?
So, I did also after engineering straight away MBA, and again, there are a lot of people. The better option obviously would have been if I would have had some work experience and then gone for an MBA. It makes more sense. If you ask me personally, we did it during that time because people said, once you get into a job, will you be able to go for an MBA? And people think like this. If you have an option, it's always better, because then you can apply your learning. You are in an organization, you see the organization, you have some experience in the organization, and then you take that learning back to the institute, and then you are more practically oriented. Otherwise, you'll go through a theoretical MBA. We have learnt what I'm saying today, or when I'm able to talk today like this, it's all because of our experience, what we gained, because of our attitude, because of what I showed here. Lesser because of what I learnt in the MBA Institute. I could have learnt much more. Had I the experience, I would take an actual situation which I saw in a working environment and think about how would I apply it there, which I could not do at that point in time. I had never worked in an organization. And management is all about people. I have never led people. I have never worked with people. And I go for management, okay. And it's very difficult then to visualize. So you learn concepts, but application of that is usually tough. So I would say, if you ask me personally, it's good to give a gap and do MBA. And MBA is a very effective, brilliant course. Gives you a very different perspective and exposure. So I love it, of course. I would love people to do that. However, people who want to be highly technical, go into research and development. A lot of people are today there who are individual scientists. Now, do they need MBA? Are they going to handle a very large team? Do they really need it is a big question. So if you are individualistic, if you're a great engineer, you're building something on your own, more like that, probably you don't even need it. You can go ahead in your engineering field. So you have a technical field always and a managerial field. In every organization, we look at it too differently. There's a technical growth path. You can become an expert technical, or you can become an expert manager. So both paths are available. Again, it's up to you what you want to decide. Second part, leadership. Yeah, so leadership is a very vast topic, very difficult to define what is leadership, because there are lots of aspects of leadership. Something what I showed you here, you need to have certain traits of leadership, and everything can be inculcated. Everything can be learnt. None of us are born leaders. I can tell you for sure, when I was in school or college, I would never be standing on the stage. Never. You guys today are more exposed. You are better speakers. You're confident, much more confident. You can come and speak. We were never on the stage to this extent. Today I can stand here and speak to you because of experience. Because what I showed you on the first chart, I have developed the skill. Over a period of time, I am standing here addressing people. I am developing the skill by talking and practicing it. So everything can be acquired. You have to practice, experiment, keep doing it again and again, and when you do it, you learn from that experience. So leadership is similar. You work at it. Of course, like I said, I have shown you some traits from my personal journey, how I think about it. And once you are clear about and mentally you're doing a good job, I think people accept you as a leader. And if you're fair, if you're giving enough space to people to, because as a leader, you don't have ever all the answers. I don't know. I have to take out the best solution and answers from the people. I will never be an expert at everything which happens in the organization. I have no clue. I cannot be a technical expert. I cannot be an HR expert. I am not the marketing expert. So the only trick of the trade there is to know people management, and to take out the best from people. And that's the only art you have to learn, how to facilitate, how to take out the best from people, how to motivate people. And that's the biggest strength which can take you forward. That's it.
Sir, second question is that, sir, you have told that MBA is that, मतलब जब MBA करेंगे आप तो आपका टेक्निकल नॉलेज होगा वो बढ़ेगा. तो जैसे आप फॉर एग्जांपल दो स्टूडेंट हैं, हाँ, एक ने एमटेक किया है, एक ने MBA किया है, तो सर दोनों को टेक्निकल नॉलेज अच्छी है. तो सर जो कोई भी कंपनी आएगी वो किसको प्रायोरिटी देगी, हाई मतलब सिलेक्शन रेट पे किसको करेगी, MBA को करेगी या फिर MBA को करेगी?
सो अगेन, जैसे कोई टेक्निकल कंपनी आएगी जिसको आपके टेक्निकल स्किल्स में इंटरेस्ट है और आप एक टेक्निकल एक्सपर्ट हैं किसी एक फील्ड में, ऑब्वियसली अगर वो क्राइटेरिया उनका है कि वो एमटेक ढूंढ रहे हैं, वो एमटेक ही लेके जाएंगे, एमबीए लेंगे नहीं. वो उनको उसका यूटिलाइजेशन नहीं है.
लेकिन मोस्ट ऑफ कंपनी ऐसी होती हैं जो मतलब दोनों को हायर करती हैं, एमबीए को भी हायर करती हैं और एमटेक को भी हायर करती हैं. और अगर उनके पास दोनों स्टूडेंट हैं तो किसको हाई प्रायोरिटी पे लेंगे कि मतलब एमबीए को लेंगे?
हाँ, तो मैं आई विल गिव यू एन एग्जांपल, वेरी स्पेसिफिक एग्जांपल. मैं एक R&D टीम के लिए आज एक इंजीनियर ढूंढ रहा हूँ. मैं एमबीए क्यों लूँगा और मुझे क्या ज़रूरत है एमबीए लेने की आज?
सर एमबीए का बच्चा लेंगे तो सर उसके पास मार्केटिंग की भी स्किल्स होंगी.
पर मैं एक टेक्निकल एक्सपर्ट ढूंढ रहा हूँ जो मुझे R&D कराना है. सो मुझे वो जो स्किल आप MBA की बोल रहे हैं, हो सकता है बाद में जाके यूटिलाइज कर सकें आप, पर आज मुझे स्पेसिफिक तो हम जब किसी को ढूंढते हैं, हम स्पेसिफिकली लिखते हैं कि भाई हमें एक MTech चाहिए या BE चाहिए, या हमें इस जॉब के लिए एक प्रोफाइल चाहिए. And in some profiles and jobs, some people are more suited than the others. So it cannot be, it's not general कि भाई हर जगह आप MBA को ले लेंगे because against MTech, which is not true.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, I have my question for you.
Please.
As a final year student, starting from the mediocre company is good or starting from the top-notch MNC, as the people's experience is more important than starting from any type of company. So what's your opinion with this?
So it's true. If you get a great company or a good brand, now do all of us sitting here have that option? So it's not about having that option. If I have an option, I will obviously take a good brand or a good company. The reason is only one. In a big company or a good company, there are systems, processes, and you learn also to an extent large processes and of structured companies. They invest in you. They have the money in them to invest. I was in Eicher and we were trained and overtrained. I was in GE. I learned Six Sigma in, I think, 10 programs for months. We were trained like crazy. So in larger companies, the advantage is they can invest in you because they have structured training programs. So that is the way to look at it. If I don't have an option today to join something which is something at that scale, then obviously I don't have a choice. I go to wherever I get. In a smaller company, you have the advantage because you are doing everything. So the advantage in a smaller company is you get exposure faster. You will learn faster, that is true. But you will not get many structured inputs. Now we were very well trained in Eicher on a lot of other things, you know, even human aspects, behavior, management. We were engineers, but we were trained so well on those aspects. So I really regard and respect those companies who invest in people like this. So that is the difference. You can be in a, because none of us have a choice today and there's so much of competition, and I think all of you are going through a very tough situation always, and wishing you all the best and luck for getting a great job and opportunity, but it's not always the case. You take it, and like I said, it's a step-by-step approach. Do not get disheartened. Nothing makes a difference in life if you start in a different company. We have so many people here in our organization who started where and went where. Now, to give you an example, any of us, you pick up any leader or anywhere, how many leaders have started from where? Now you have people who today use here Harvard dropouts, and Harvard dropouts are doing what? All the startups, big business. People like us today, when you say, am I from IIT? No, I'm not from IIT, an engineer. So now you say, am I from IIM Ahmedabad or IIM for management? No, I'm from IMT Ghaziabad, from a management institute that time. But I'm saying, now you say, so you might not be from the most premier institute, from the most premier this thing, or the best brand today, but it doesn't make a difference. If you have it in you, you'll reach there.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Now everyone must be eagerly waiting for the little break. We will now take a lunch break from 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Please rejoin us in the auditorium sharp at 1 and innovations that will define India's engineering future. For that, I would like to invite moderator Shri Vivek Jakmola ji, co-founder of MTA E-Mobility, and our esteemed panelist Shri Arun Goyal ji, Vice Chairman Tech SAE Nesh, Shri Ramanathan Srinivasan ji, MD and CEO Automotive Test Systems, Shri Kuldeep Tyagi ji, Founder and CEO Saraka Solutions Private Limited, Dr. Harish Kumar, Associate Professor, NIT Delhi, and Dr. Adesh Kumar Pandey, Director Academics, KIT Group of Institutions.
So good afternoon. I don't know. Let me find somebody who can reply to my good afternoon. सर आप गुड आफ्टरनून कह सकते हैं? जोर से बोलो. अरे गुड आफ्टरनून बोलना था भाई. ये कोई तरीका है? ए फॉर ये एजुकेशन सिस्टम ना थोड़ा सा इम्प्रूव. ए फॉर देयर कुड बी 100 थिंग्स विद स्टार्टिंग विद ए ना. ए से बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं, लेकिन हम लोगों का माइंडसेट हमेशा ए पे खड़ा हो रखा है, राइट? तो ये थोड़ा सा बदलना है. मैं गुड आफ्टरनून फिर से बोल रहा हूं, लेकिन इस बार गुड आफ्टरनून नहीं बोलना है, कोई इनोवेशन नहीं करना है. वेरी गुड आफ्टरनून. थैंक यू सो मच. At least I am sure that at least 90% people are awake, and out of those 90%, at least 60% people are not on their phones, not watching the reels or posting on the website. So on this note, we can start the session. So I would like to welcome my esteemed panelists with me. I have who's who of the industry and the academia with me. एंड मेरा एक बहुत पुराना ड्रीम था कि मैं अपने प्रोफेसर से बहुत डरता था. जो हमारे ज़माने में जब हमें सिखाया जाता हमारे इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में, तो हमें बहुत डर लगता था प्रोफेसर से. अब तो मुझे आइडिया नहीं है कि अभी क्या स्टेटस है, बट मुझे बड़ी खुशी हो रही है कि आज मेरे पास मौका है कि मैं कुछ प्रोफेसर से भी आज सवाल कर पाऊँगा अपार्ट फ्रॉम. के लिए आपको पहले 30 साल घिसना पड़ता है. तो अगर आप सोच रहे हैं कि आप कॉलेज से निकलेंगे और अगले दिन से एडवाइस करना शुरू करेंगे, यहाँ पे पैनलिस्ट के साथ बैठ पाएंगे, उसके लिए थोड़ी सी मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी. आज का टॉपिक है सस्टेनेबिलिटी एंड स्पेशली टुवर्ड्स द विज़न ऑफ विकसित भारत 2047, जो हमारे रिस्पेक्टेड प्रधानमंत्री जी का विज़न है, जिसको हम सब लोग परस्यू करने का कोशिश कर रहे हैं. 2047 जो ईयर है, उसका सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट यह है कि हम उसके लिए फाइनली जिम्मेदार नहीं होंगे, क्योंकि हम सब लगभग 50 के आसपास हैं. और अगर 2047 में बाई चांस अगर हम लोग हुए भी, तो हम फिर सिर्फ उस समय सिर्फ मार्गदर्शक मंडल में होंगे, बहुत ऊपर, जहां हमारी कोई नहीं सुन रहा होगा. लेकिन आप लोगों के साथ विडंबना यह है कि आप लोग अपने पीक ऑफ द कैरियर पर होंगे. आज से 22 साल बाद जब 2047 आएगा, उस समय आप सब लोग उस स्टेज में होंगे जिस स्टेज से हम लोग गुजर रहे हैं अभी. और ये स्टेज सबसे ज़्यादा क्रिटिकल होती है ज़िंदगी में. जब आप 45-50 साल के होते हैं, आपकी जिम्मेदारियां सबसे ज़्यादा होती हैं. आपके माता पिता बुज़ुर्ग हो रहे होते हैं, आपके बच्चे बड़े हो रहे होते हैं, और टीन एज में होते हैं, जिसमें आप लोग हो आजकल. और जितना परेशान आप लोग अपने माता पिता को आजकल कर रहे हो, उतना ही परेशान आपके बच्चे उस समय आपको कर रहे होंगे, इन अ गुड सेंस फॉर श्योर. और उनके कैरियर की चिंता हो रही होती है, आपकी हेल्थ डिटोरेट हो रही होती है. तो उस समय आपको 2047 में रहना है. तो ये आपको डिसाइड करना है कि वो 2047 कैसा होगा. वो सस्टेनेबल होगा, आपके चारों तरफ शुद्ध हवा होगी कि नहीं होगी, आपके चारों तरफ जो चीज़ें हो रही हैं हरी भरी हरा भरा आप कुछ देख पाओगे नहीं देख पाओगे, या आप ऐसा तो नहीं कि कुछ जानवर ऐसे होंगे जिनको आप सिर्फ पिक्चर में दिखा पाओगे, जैसे आज की तारीख में हम डायनासोर्स को दिखाते हैं. ऐसा तो नहीं कि टाइगर्स नहीं होंगे, हिरन नहीं होंगे, या चिड़ियाएँ नहीं होंगी. तो इस चीज़ को सस्टेन करना, जो आज की तारीख में हमारे पास है, उस चीज़ को सस्टेन करना, दैट इज़ द टॉपिक ऑफ द डे टुडे. तो सस्टेनेबिलिटी इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड व्हेन वी सी द सस्टेनेबिलिटी फ्रॉम द इंडस्ट्री पर्सपेक्टिव, आज की तारीख में जब आप किसी इंडस्ट्री को आप कहते हो कि आप कुछ पैसा खर्चा करो, तो पैसा खर्चा तभी इंडस्ट्री करती है जब उस पैसे का कोई रिटर्न आ रहा होता है। दो ही तरह से इंडस्ट्री काम करती है, इस चीज़ को बड़ा ध्यान से सुनिएगा। दो ही तरह से इंडस्ट्री काम करती है, या तो पैसा लगा के पैसा आ रहा हो, या गवर्नमेंट ने डंडा मार रहा हो। अगर कोई गवर्नमेंट का रेगुलेशन आता है तो इंडस्ट्री को काम करना पड़ता है, या उससे कोई अच्छा रिटर्न आ रहा हो तो काम करना पड़ता है। सस्टेनेबिलिटी में अभी तक जो इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन इंडिया में चला आ रहा है, उसमें मोस्टली सस्टेनेबिलिटी में काम या तो शौक से होता था, किसी को पौधे लगाने का शौक है, किसी को पौधा लगा के फ़ोटो खिंचाने का शौक है, किसी को कुछ जानवरों से प्रेम है तो वो कुछ कार्य करता था। बट सस्टेनेबिलिटी में सिस्टमैटिक वे में काम कुछ साल पहले तक ऑलमोस्ट नहीं होता था। कुछ बड़े इंडस्ट्री हाउसेस करते थे, बट ऑब्वियसली एमएसएमई या छोटे लेवल के जो इंडस्ट्रीज़ होती हैं वो इस विषय में कार्य नहीं करते थे। अब धीरे धीरे सस्टेनेबिलिटी में गवर्नमेंट के रेगुलेशंस आने लगे हैं। जैसे आप लोगों की जानकारी के लिए बता दूं, जो टॉप 1000 कंपनीज होती हैं बाय द मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन, दे हैव टू फाइल अ रिपोर्ट टू सेबी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ BRSR। एक फॉर्मेट होता है जिसमें आपको बिजनेस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एंड सोशल अकाउंटेबिलिटी को आपको फॉर्म भर के देना होता है कि आपने क्या अपने बिजनेस में रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, बिजनेस में क्या एक्शन लिए जिससे आपकी सस्टेनेबिलिटी पे में बेनिफिट हुआ ओवरऑल एनवायरनमेंट में। ESG एक बहुत बड़ा कंप्लायंस आ रहा है अब, जिसमें कि काफ़ी ज़्यादा काम हो रहा है, जिसमें एनवायरमेंटल, सोशल एंड गवर्नेंस इन स्कीम्स पे काम हो रहा है। ये एरियाज़ हैं जिन एरियाज़ में काफ़ी सारा कार्य हो रहा है। एज अ स्टूडेंट जब आप इंडस्ट्री में जाएंगे, जब आप अपने जॉब में जाएंगे, एंटरप्रेन्योर बनेंगे, स्टार्टअप अपना शुरुआत करेंगे, उस समय आपको डेफिनेटली इन सारी चीज़ों का सामना करना पड़ेगा। You will come across the regulations, you will come across the requirement from the industry, from your investor, from your the superiors, that you have to do something in the ESG area, in the sustainability area. So understand, this is a topic which is slightly away from the, let's say, from the regular academia, regular discussions maybe, but it's a very important topic which is coming in. सो आज के टॉपिक की शुरुआत हम करेंगे, हमारे अरुण सर से बात करेंगे। अरुण गोयल जी वाइस चेयरमैन हैं SAE NIS में, एयर कंडीशन थर्मल सिस्टम में महारत हासिल है। अरुण सर को मेरा बहुत पुराना एसोसिएशन रहा है अरुण सर से। सो अरुण सर, जैसे अभी हम लोग बेसिकली जो बहुत दर ऑलमोस्ट ऑल द टेक्नोलॉजीज आर डेवलपिंग एट अ वेरी वेरी रैपिड स्पेस. We have seen when Ramnathan sir was talking about, and when Arvind sir was Kuldeep sir was talking about, things are happening at a stage where one of the action of the speaker was that thoda upar se gaya. So while maintaining such a fast pace of rapid development in the technology, how can we ensure the sustainability is not lost?
Sustainability of environment, or
sustainability of the activities which we are doing, sustainability of the systems which we are developing.
Okay. Basically, technological development is taking in a very fast pace, and it is creating problem for other factors. Development starts basically design starts with the selection of material, and we need to work on the basically clean materials now as per the government regulations. The design and development, those are the basically process and material development. We need to sustain the product, we need to design the product which is used in the today's circumstances as well as in the future also. So that's the basically thing we need to do.
Thank you, sir. Carrying it forward, well, just to take a cue from this, sir, there would be many sectors, and I'll address this question to Ramnathan ji. So what will be those key sectors which will ultimately be in more highlight, or will have more work to be done, which will ultimately do better in terms of sustainability compared to others?
Oh, you mean all sectors?
Yeah, combined? All sectors, especially in the automotive and engineering sector.
Yeah, because automotive, if I look at आज की डेट में अगर आप हमारे यहाँ देखेंगे तो पूरा पोल्यूशन और बहुत सारे इश्यूज, एंड पार्ट ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम इज़ डेफिनेटली ऑटोमोटिव. So when you talk about sustainability, that means जो भी हम अभी बना रहे हैं, it should be recyclable. चाहे मैं वो बैटरी यूज़ करूं, हम जो चीप बैटरीज पहले चाइना से उठाते थे, उसमें लेड, मर्क्यूरी, बहुत सारे ऐसे हार्मफुल कंपोनेंट्स हैं, और ये ई रिक्शा वाले उस बैटरी को कहीं भी फेंक देते हैं, ठीक से डिस्पोज नहीं करते, विदाउट थिंकिंग दैट इज़ गोइंग इनटू आवर ग्राउंड, and all that poison is coming back to us only from the ground in terms of the water that we are using or the soil that we are using in terms of crops. So the idea is that this generation has to think about whatever we guys are using has to be sustainable and reusable and recyclable. चाहे मैं गाड़ी बना रहा हूँ, चाहे मैं कुछ भी बना रहा हूँ, it has to be recyclable. That is why energy भी जो है, we are thinking about hydro, we are thinking about solar. Coming into this, we are all talking about green hydrogen. So everything what we are trying to use in terms of manufacturing, चाहे मैं steel manufacture करूँ या aluminium manufacture करूँ, it has to be the green energy has to be used. We should not be using too much of fossil fuels, and the way the process is made, and then finally the product should be made in a way that it has to be recycled. That is my 2 cents on this.
I will add.
Please.
I will add one thing. Like what we call it ELV. We learn too much from the newspaper about ELV. But one part of ELV is when we design a component, the material should be basically free from the hazardous material, especially in the automobile industry, like mercury, lead, cadmium, and the hexavalent chromium. So that's the way basically it's impacting the environment.
So Ram sir, you think that for the students, this could be a startup idea or an idea to how we can repurpose the materials which we are using, for example battery repurpose or any kind of the metal recycling. You think how the industry shaping up, and what the activities happening, and whether this can be a good future ahead?
In my opinion, this is the next unicorn. Getting carbon credits and getting this kind of recyclable stuff, factories here which can recycle products, it's $1 billion business. This is going to be massive, and if any of you students have ideas about a good way of recycling these products, a safe way of recycling, this is a very good startup idea, definitely, and it's a unicorn. I'm telling you, this is going to be big. You can choose which industry you are targeting, whether it is only automotive or others as well, in terms of construction or something else. But yes, this recycling business, and in terms of getting carbon credits for a sustainable future, it's worth it. Even water, we have all polluted water. So if we can find ways where we can provide clean water across, or to recycle the water across, even in the commercial buildings, we have too many apartments here. If you can figure out ways of saving water, that's a very big idea.
Thank you, sir. So I'll come to you, Kuldeep, sir. Being from the software side and directing this question to you, because now, so far we have understood that there are traditional subjects, there are traditional, mechanical, electronics, software, these kind of subjects are going on. However, the speed of adoption of these newest possible technologies and systems in the industry, how this demand in the industry of having something which probably the academia is trying to keep pace with, how this is shaping the traditional sets, the students coming in with the traditional sets, for example, mechanical or electrical, how they can improve and how they can learn, and whether it is useful for them to acquire this knowledge to be successful in their career.
Thank you. I think that's a good question. What I've realized in last 3-4 years with AI, I was talking to one of my college mate. He is probably 8 years experienced. I'm like 25, and I met in a conference like this, and I asked him, what is AI really doing it? He's a developer, right? So he told me that 80% of my code is written by Copilot. Yeah. Then I said, then it is going to vanish the jobs, because you need only 2 developers out of 10, right? But then he said another thing, very interesting thing, that it's creating a problem, because now your code is written by AI. If it has a problem, identify debugging is becoming a big problem. Right, so if it runs smooth, it's fine. So I think if you look at 15, 20 years ago in, by the way, all mechanical, electrical people today have to learn software. There's no doubt about it. Mechatronics and so many things are coming. So software is going to be standard, right? So that way, I think testing will take the lead. Now since Copilot or any of these similar tools are actually writing software for you, but then debugging is becoming a problem. You need to be intelligent enough to find the problem. So like testing 5 years down the line, 5 years before, it was not as lucrative as development, right? But I think it's going to change in the next 4 or 5 years, in my opinion. A lot more testing innovation will happen where you will find ways to debug things much faster.
Thank you, sir. Hari sir, you are a professor in NIT and expert in additive manufacturing. But I will ask a different question to you because that's my, I told you in the starting that I would like to tease the professors. that's the hidden, ichha mere andar hai. So sir, apart from technical skills which you are providing to the students, obviously that's your everyday's job. You think that there is a requirement for some certain soft skills or beyond the academia, beyond the books, some skills are required, especially in terms of educating or making them sensitive towards the sustainability and the environmental conscious citizens in the future?
So, I completely agree with you, sir. So, whatever we are taught in academia, because I also did my graduation, I mean to say engineering, I think 22 years back. So 23rd year is going on. So whatever we were being taught, honestly, those are hard skills. So because now sir has asked regarding soft skills, so now I am telling you whatever you are being taught in your engineering, 4 years, or your education like masters or whatsoever, those skills are basically hard skills. Technical things are there. But whenever you are going to the professional life, trust me, these technical skills are prerequisite. Of course, because those are your first level of assessment. But how? Once you got a platform, then how you will keep yourselves completely surviving in the same organization or different organization over the very long span. First is the communication skills. You can do work. Yes, everyone can do. Most of us are very hardworking. We can do work. But how to communicate? Trust me, communication skill is very important. Even if you are technically 95% capable or 100% capable, it hardly makes a difference. Because with the span of time, you will also acquire competency. So, whenever you are going somewhere, and even you have seen why companies are having HR round, technical experts have taken interview and they could have simply offered you. But still you have these HR discussion. What is the main objective of that HR fellow? You are given some task, you are representing some position of the organization, and you don't have good communication skills, then how you would be converting those opportunities into favorable opportunities for the organization? Ultimately, in this world, this commercial world, we have to snatch the opportunities. It is a very competitive world. So apart from your technical or hard skills, first and foremost require communication skill. Second, now you have very good communication skill and suddenly like sir is now taking my test. So a very sarcastic question is asked. Now that question is not taught me. I am being taught only technical during my engineering. And sir has told additive manufacturing. I have not studied additive manufacturing during my engineering. And during my state National Physical Laboratory as a scientist, I did not study additive manufacturing at all. I studied it in NIT Delhi when I was given this subject forcefully. So, now critical thinking is very important. I have not to reply in a very fast manner. I may take some time to think. So critical thinking is very important. And your critical thinking should be supported by problem solving approach. Whenever you are working in an organization, we used to complain. Management is not interested in complaint. They are interested in solutions. So of course there are certain shortcomings are there, lacunas are there. But you have to provide as well solutions with you. So whether it is a technical problem, whether it is managerial problem, whether it is an administrative problem, you should have a critical thinking approach supported by a problem solving approach. So if you have these things, and then these days whatever you are taught in your engineering, your problems in professional fields are entirely different. I studied strength of material. Strength of material is being taught for last 70 years. So now I may ask one question, why I am taught, sir? I can read this online. Now there are so many online tools, but why you are taught these subjects in your engineering? Because they are going to help you. Creativity. If you are not very clear what is the fundamental concepts of engineering, how you will develop creativity in yourself. You have good simulation softwares, but you should have ability to assess whether the solution provided by the software is realistic, appropriate or not. You have not to see a solution, just engineering solution. You have to practically think that it is a whether practically viable solution or not. So industries are not interested only in solution. They are interested in practically viable, sustainable solution. So if you have these kind of skills supported by your collaborative approach, so you are working in a team. हम कहते हैं ना, एक अकेला चारा कभी फाड़ नहीं फोड़ सकते. क्यों कहते हैं? We require a team. How this organization is growing? Any organization is growing. Why? Because there is a team. There is some leadership. So some are very good leader, some are very good collaborator. So whenever you are working in an organization, you should have a very good collaborative approach as well as leadership quality. Because as sir told, in 2047, I may not be there, sir may not be there, but certainly you are going to be there. So whatever we have done, so you have to reply for our decisions. We are taking decisions today, but you have to defend in 2047. So you can say, sir, these decisions were not taken by me, but no one will accept these excuse. So it means, and last and foremost thing, these days technology is changing a lot. Very, very much changing. So you should be well complied with digitally newly developing technologies. So 20 years back, ANSYS was not important for me. But if you see, these days you should be very good with programming. You should very good with software skills, and apart from your technical. So you have very good hard skills, technological skills. That is your competency. But it has to be supported by these soft skills. And I personally believe, so the job of academic institution is now more important. They are not responsible only for hard skills. They are also responsible for garnering these soft skills to their students, because you are to be the next generation technocrats.
Thank you, sir. That was a very, I don't have to say anything now. So, Dr. Adesh, you know, everybody know Adesh, sir. So I don't have to introduce you for sure.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, the institute, KIET, how's this institute is imbibing the sense of sustainability, sense of responsible citizen towards the environment, towards the social responsibilities. And how do you think that your students would be able to contribute going forward in the Viksit Bharat vision in 2047 with whatever initiatives you are taking?
Thank you very much, sir. I'll put forward the view of Edu Manager about the sustainability. See, from the industry point of view, the sir and Arun sir and Kuldeep ji has explained very well about the requirement in industry and the government danda which you talk. So government danda is here also in academics also. See, there are two main academic regulatory bodies are there in the education. NAAC and NBA, National Board of Accreditation. So before 2025, the NAAC and NBA, National Board of Accreditation, was not talking about the sustainability. Now the government has proposed a new model for NBA, those institutions, those who are going first time for NBA or for the NAAC. So the complete model has been changed. They are developing the software-based approach and data analytics-based approach. Now the sustainable development of education, the environment, and the inculcating the practice of sustainability in the education also becomes a very big thing, a complete chapter over there. So it became a responsibility of the Educational Institute to imbibe those practices by force also. Now the government institutions or the private institutions, those who are going for the National Board of Accreditation first time, they have to map all other their activities like academics, whatever extracurricular, co-curricular activities that they're doing with the SDGs. One thing. So it became a regulatory kind of things. Another point which I want to see is curriculum development. AICT and UGCA has given a model curriculum. It is foundation for all the education institutions, being art institutions, engineering institutions or management. At least 8 to 10 credit they have to cover on the topics like environment, sustainability, SDGs and the renewable energy. So over the period of 4 years, like engineering colleges, we have inculcated all those practices, mandatory or whatever is required. Another thing which I want to tell you about the practices which we follow in this institution. See, student is our core value. We don't consider our student as a customer. At least I don't consider as a teacher. So whenever the parents come to my chamber or the chamber of any, at the time of admission we get a lot of query. The admission team asks us and my fellow deans, so parents are asking for computer science and we have a seat in mechanical engineering. So convince them so how to opt for the mechanical engineering. See, our goal is not to make a good engineer. Our goal is to make a good citizen of this country also, so that they can contribute toward the society. And it is not going to happen until unless you don't imbibe and you don't care about the society. Once you start caring for the society, you are automatically contributing toward the sustainability. So nowadays I get very less chance to teach. Whenever I used to teach, and my all fellow students teach, the first thing which we talk about the discipline, contribution to the society, and the fairness in the. See, I don't mind if somebody is asking, sir, I have not completed my assignment or examination. मेरा पहला काम होता है fail नहीं करने वाला हूँ आपको. Outcome is not important for me. The process is important for me. So I feel personally, as a edu manager, director of this college, and the professor, the first responsibility lies to the teachers, Education Institute, to teach, to make a student aware about the sustainability. See, a couple of days, I should not discuss on this platform, probably not relevant. I started TEDx in this college in 2018. So we take students from every branch in that as a volunteers. Student run that. No faculty is involved in this activity. So very shy guy, in 2025, we were designing a topic, catching line for the TEDx. So I asked student, भाई आप लेके आओ, मैं तो इतना creative नहीं हूँ, बच्चे एक competition कर लो. The guy write, fossil fuel, ashes remains. Fossil fuels, ashes remains. मुझे उस बच्चे को, मेरे को 15 मिनट लगे उस बच्चे को समझाने में, भाई इसका मतलब क्या है. And there is a various meaning. I think that decide the core value of the society, Educational Institute also, at this industry also. He said very simple, very shy guy. Sir, आज जो action होगा ना, उसका reaction आपको 10 साल बाद, 20 साल बाद मिलेगा. So every panelist is saying that students are also sitting. I want to just convey this message. Whatever action, maybe in the form of carbon footprint or the kind of education you are adopting, the education is given to you. It is all happens to with all of us. Our children are going to be face the situation if we are not improve about not care about the sustainability. So I feel personally, whatever we are doing, whatever activity, we have to take care about the society. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That was very encouraging and great to know that this activity is not only happening with only the planning by the institute, but then the government is also intervening, and that means that the link between what government is asking from the companies and how it is being taught in the industry is getting bridged in this area as well. Coming to Kuldeep, sir. Kuldeep, sir, we have seen that that was a fantastic presentation about how the vehicle should be developed. What are the steps to be taken? So, what's your opinion on that? Currently the industry and companies which are using your services or where you are providing the services for the development of the vehicles, the new generation vehicle, especially the electric vehicles. What are the steps the industry is taking, and what are the steps you suggest in order to ensure that the vehicles are designed and developed responsibly, and at the end of the life the vehicle is creating let's say working toward a net zero impact, or it is not creating any carbon footprints beyond certain limits? So we would like to know something about this from you.
Sure. I think reuse and dispose appropriately. There are, I think, variety of things which we as a country have not really paid much attention. We have polythenes all around. We are talking about EV, but we haven't really fixed the fundamental things, right? So I think आज की जो generation है उसको थोड़ा सोचना पड़ेगा कि ये problem हो सकता है आज इतनी बड़ी ना दिखे, लेकिन 5 साल में 10 साल में बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम होने वाली है. EVs को आप रोक नहीं सकते, राइट? सस्टेनेबिलिटी के जो फैक्टर्स हैं अभी आपके कॉलेज में आई थिंक चारों तरफ लगे हुए हैं, बहुत अच्छी बात है. बहुत सारे फंडामेंटल फैक्टर्स हैं, तो कुछ फंडामेंटल इनोवेशन करना पड़ेगा, कुछ नया चीज़ सोचनी पड़ेगी. पहले क्या होता था कि कोई प्रोडक्ट US में बना है, यूरोप में बना है, उसको मैंने लिया, डीफीचर किया, कुछ फीचर कम कर दी और इंडिया में लॉन्च कर दिया, वो काम चल गया, राइट? मुझे भी याद है एक काफ़ी बड़ी मेडिकल टेक्नोलॉजी कंपनी है, वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट मेट्रॉनिक, जो पेसमेकर बनाती है, डिफिब्रिलेटर. उनके एक CTO आए थे 10 साल पहले, एक्चुअली 15 साल पहले. उस टाइम तो मैं आई यूज्ड टू वर्क इन TCS दैट टाइम. सो वो मेरे से कह रहे थे कि कुलदीप हमें ऐसा पेसमेकर बनाना है जो $100 में बन जाए. वो जो पेसमेकर का जो कॉस्ट था US में या यूरोप में, इट वाज वेरी हाई, ऑलमोस्ट 15 times 20 times more than what you were saying, right? और उन्होंने जो बात आगे कही वो मेरे को बड़े अचंभे वाली लगी कि मैं US से हूँ, मैं इंडिया भी कमाता हूँ, पर मुझे पता है कि ये वाला प्रोडक्ट US और यूरोप में कोई डेवलप नहीं कर सकता. ये प्रोडक्ट अगर डेवलप होगा $100 के अंदर, अगर मैं कोई पेसमेकर बनाऊँगा तो वो इंडिया में होगा या किसी थर्ड वर्ल्ड कंट्री में होगा, राइट? सो आई थिंक वो सच थे. उसके बाद मैंने बहुत सारी चीज़ें देखी, क्योंकि डीफीचर करके आप किसी चीज़ को $100 से 70 में कर सकते हो, 50 में कर सकते हो, लेकिन उसको $2 में नहीं कर सकते. आई थिंक वो फंडामेंटल इनोवेशन इन्हीं बच्चों को करना है. सस्टेनेबिलिटी उसमें एक पार्ट है, रीयूज़ कैसे करें चीज़ों को, प्रॉब्लम को सोचना है और सॉल्यूशन निकालना है. बायस नहीं होना है. आई थिंक हम ज़्यादातर बायस हो जाते हैं, या देख लेते हैं या उसने ये किया चलो उसका देख लेते हैं, उसके हिसाब से करूँगा, राइट? वो सोच बदलनी पड़ेगी. मुझे ड्राइंग बोर्ड पे आना पड़ेगा, स्केच लिखना पड़ेगा, अपने आप से कुछ क्रिएटिविटी लानी पड़ेगी, अनबायस होके, तभी इनोवेशन होगा.
थैंक यू सर. सो एज यू गाइज हैव हर्ड, अभी जिस तरह से रेगुलेशंस हमारे को इफ़ेक्ट कर रहे हैं, एक रेगुलेशन और है, ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट सब्जेक्ट है, इसको समझने की कोशिश करेगा. एक रेगुलेशन और है जो फॉरेन कंट्रीज़, थर्ड वर्ल्ड कंट्रीज़ के ऊपर लगा रहे हैं. ये रेगुलेशन कहलाता है CBAM, कार्बन बॉर्डर एक्शन मैकेनिज्म. और ये बेसिकली यूरोपियन कंट्रीज़ हैं जो हमारे ऊपर लगा रही हैं, जिसमें आपको जो भी प्रोडक्ट आप एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं यूरोपियन कंट्रीज़ में, आपको एक पूरा उसका कार्बन फुटप्रिंट का इंफॉर्मेशन पूरा देना पड़ता है. So try to understand that the country which are so-called developed countries towards which we want to move by 2047, they are doing these activities now not only on their own country, but they also demand from the third world countries whoever wants to do the business with them. So taking the cue from this, I'll come to Ram sir. You have interacting with the multi-country activities, and you had multiple joint ventures and agreements with various countries. How much difference you see, and if at all you see the difference between the thought process when it comes to the sustainability in the business and the genuine effort they do either by their own wish or through the government regulations compared to what you see in India?
I have a company in Germany myself, and when I run that company, the kind of regulations that I have to follow in Germany is way stricter. The kind of paperwork I have to do, the kind of approvals that I have to take, and making sure that the entire process is clean and I'm not disturbing the environment at all. I'm making sure that all the materials that go into manufacturing at our place is all clean. And after the material is used or end of life, that I am able to reuse that or dispose it off in a very safe manner. I have to prove that. But in India, I also run manufacturing in India. I have just given some certificates that, for example, for my EV lab in Bangalore, I have just given a certificate that my lab is not polluting. Yeah, that's about it. Because I run a laboratory there, testing motors and batteries, I'm not polluting. Beyond that, there is barely any safety check, or there is no any kind of, let's say, implementation yet in India. और हमारे यहाँ जब तक वो पुलिस वाला सामने आके डंडा लेके नहीं खड़े होता ना, हम रूल्स नहीं फॉलो करते हैं. सो मेरा पॉइंट ये है कि जब तक एनफोर्समेंट नहीं होगा, हम लोग इसको प्रॉपरली फॉलो नहीं करते हैं इंडिया में.
यू थिंक इट्स कमिंग? You think it's moving towards that?
I think अगर इस जनरेशन को आगे सांस लेना है और जिंदा रहना है तो इन्हें वो चाहिए. हमारा तो टाइम निकल गया, बट द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन needs water, you need good food, you need to have clean food, you need clean living premises, clean air, and the material to live. So you need this. So you guys need to make sure that this is implemented.
Thank you, Ram sir. I think that's very important that we are basically doing like this. That our time is over, and it's you guys who have to take the future in your own hands. Just one last question to every panelist, and I'll start with Dr. Adesh. Just one piece of advice which you would like to give to your students in a very short. What will that be for what they should be doing now in order to be a very respectable citizen in a clean environment in 2047?
जो मेरा अपना एक्सपीरियंस है 25 इयर्स का, जस्ट वन वर्ड, शॉर्टकट छोड़ दो. शॉर्टकट छोड़ दो.
ये तो लिख सकते हैं हम लोग.
शॉर्टकट छोड़ दो. जैसे अभी हमने पिक्चर देखी 12th फेल पिक्चर की, चीटिंग छोड़ दो. वो वर्ड में यूज नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ अभी, बट आई वुड लाइक टू से शॉर्टकट छोड़ो, बिकॉज आई फील पर्सनली पीपल आर, सी दिस जनरेशन जैन जी वी कॉल इट, सो दे आर वेरी स्मार्ट. I can say about my students, they are very good. We are attracting very good students from all over the UP and country also. They understand each and everything. They understand कहाँ knowledge मिलेगा, कहाँ जाना है, कहाँ किस teacher से क्या मिलने वाला. They understand each and everything. But I still feel this generation is very, very impatient, and they're likely to have shortcut for the success. And that is not going to probably be long-term solution. For sustainability also, they have to think. whatever action they are taking, अगर वो बहुत जल्दी मिलेंगे तो वो सस्टेनेबिलिटी और अच्छे नागरिक बनने की परिकल्पना निकल जाएगी. बट अगर वो एक सोचेंगे अपने एक्शंस के बारे में तो ये सारी चीज़ें ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाएंगी. सो मेरा ही बच्चों से ये कहना है कि शॉर्टकट छोड़ो.
सो नो शॉर्टकट इज वन लाइन आंसर. सर.
श्योर. आई थिंक मेरा एडवाइस तो यही है कि जो हमारी कल्चर है हजारों साल पुरानी, जिसको हम भूल गए अभी पिछले 100, 150, 200 सालों में, आई थिंक उसको पकड़ना है. मेडिटेशन करो, योगा करो, बिलीव इन योर सेल्फ, बिलीव इन गॉड, फंडामेंटल चीज़ें हैं, लेकिन बिलीव इन योर सेल्फ कहने में आसान लगता है, बट जब प्रॉब्लम आती है फिर आप इधर उधर देखते हो, दूसरे से एडवाइस लेते हो, और दूसरा आदमी आपको कभी फुल प्रूफ एडवाइस नहीं देता है और दे भी नहीं सकता क्योंकि आप का विज़न अलग है. सो आई थिंक बिलीव इन योर सेल्फ एंड बी कॉन्फिडेंट.
So believe in yourself and be confident.
So my
Hari
advice
sir,
to all the budding technocrats that we need to infuse skills and sustainability. So if you want to sustain for a longer time, so you have to use your engineering skills, technologies in consistency with sustainability. As you know, when there are new, for example, emission norms are coming, we sometimes criticize, अरे अभी तो मैंने वो BS4 व्हीकल लिया था, now it has come BS6. But कभी आपने सोचा कि ये इतनी ज़रूरत क्यों आ रही है? Because it has to be ensured that we should be able to get clean air. So why emission controls are required? The same way, जैसा सर ने कहा, enforcement is very important. So before these enforcements are being forced to us, let us enforce those to ourselves and make integration of your engineering and sustainability. So whatever you are designing, whatever you are developing, whatever you are manufacturing, please make it for a sustainable future. So that is my opinion. So thank you.
Thank you. So arrest it at the source. When you are designing and developing that itself, you should be taking care of it. रामनाथन सर.
मेरा बड़ा सिंपल सा फंडा है, अगर मैं देखता हूँ कि भाई पास वाला मेरा पड़ोसी अगर कुछ गड़बड़ कर रहा है या कोई और उसको सॉल्व कर रहा है, मैं तो कहूँगा अरे यार सरकार करेगी ना, वो करेगा ना, ये करेगा ना. हम पूरी दुनिया को देखते हैं कि somebody else will solve it, मैं नहीं करूँगा. Why should I take the effort to do it? ये हमारे अंदर ना खून में ना बस गया है बहुत अच्छे से. ठीक है, मैं एफर्ट क्यों लूँ, मैं क्यों करूँ? ठीक है, Why should policing मैं क्यों करूँ, सरकार करेगी ना. मैं एफर्ट क्यों लूँ, मैं कूड़ा कूड़ेदान में क्यों फेंकूँ, मैं उसको सेग्रीगेट क्यों करूँ? Because it's a little bit of an effort to segregate the wet and सिंपल चीज़ें बता रहा हूँ, सिंपल सिर्फ कूड़े से, घर के कूड़े से. ठीक है, अगर वेट और ड्राई चीज़ों को अगर हमने अलग करना है या प्लास्टिक को अलग करना है, हम में से कितने लोग हैं जो ये करते हैं घर के कूड़े से रोज? हम नहीं करते हैं ये काम, क्योंकि उसमें थोड़ा सा एफर्ट लगता है. तो हम सोचते हैं कि यार मैं फेंक देता हूँ, नीचे कोई और उसको जो है सेग्रीगेट कर लेगा या सरकार करेगी या कोई भी करेगा, पर मैं नहीं करूँगा. सो माई 2 cents विल बी एटलीस्ट जो छोटी छोटी चीज़ें हैं सस्टेनेबिलिटी के लिए, जो आप लोग सीख के इवन एक स्मॉल स्टेप अगर आप ले सकें तो दैट विल बी हेल्पफुल फॉर यू. As we have already said, we are all, the senior citizen group, right? We are all already in the dinosaurus age. Yeah, we are going out. So it's a good life for you and your next generation. And we are now taking steps to make sure that your life and the generation next life is at least livable. So that is why we are talking about it at our generation. Because when we were living, when we were young, nobody used to talk about these aspects. There were no roads. We didn't have this kind of a problems. We had clean rivers. We could take bath in the rivers. We could go around. आज आप यमुना में नहा सकते हो जाके? You can't. Are you breathing clean air? We used to breathe really clean air when we were young. Yeah, the conditions that we lived in were different, and you can blame us for spoiling everything as well. Yeah, this is the generation that grew the industry rapidly and without actually having the knowledge of what we are spoiling. But this is already spoiled. So for you guys, it is to correct what we have spoiled and make it good for yourself. But today technology is there is help for you. The only thing is that you also need to take one small step towards a good life. That's my 2 cents. Thank you.
I will say 3 words: creativity, engineering skills, and problem-solving techniques. Basically, I found in young engineers in the organization that Everybody wants, they want every solution through computer. They don't want to use the brain. So basically start learning how to solve the problems. That's a very, very important for any area who are working, whether it's electronics, electrical or mechanical, especially for the mechanical people, because problem solving is basically you have to go in the root of the problem. So unless until your fundamental engineering skills or fundamentals are clear, you cannot go in the root of the problem. And creativity is must for young engineers, because what we are talking about, the sustainability, unless until we are creative, we think out of the box. We don't think in the conventional way. We should think in the out of the box if you want to work in the R&D or research. So that's my basically.
थैंक यू सर. सो मेरा बेटा 21 साल का है और वो जेनजी है. जेनजी आप लोग समझते हैं, ये हम किसी बुरे सेंस में नहीं कह रहे हैं. मेरे से ज़्यादा मैं उस एज में उसकी एज के बराबर फिट नहीं हो सकता, लेकिन जो उसकी प्रैक्टिसेस हैं वो फूड बड़े ध्यान से खाता है, वो सड़क पर कोई चीज़ फेंकता नहीं है. मैं तो फिर भी एक बार अगर दिल्ली की सड़क पर नहीं फेंकूंगा, अगर थोड़ा गांव में जा रहा हूं तो मैं खिड़की के बाहर अपना रैपर फेंक देता हूं. बट वो मुझे टोक देता है कि डैड दिस इज़ नॉट राइट. सो मैंने इसके अलावा बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऐसी हैं जो मैं उसे मैं जब उसको बोलता हूँ तो वो मुझे काउंटर करता है. तो मैं एक बार हमारे एक बड़े अच्छे मित्र हैं उनके पास गया और हम लोग ऐसे डिस्कस कर रहे थे, यू नो, जो 3-4 सीनियर लोग बैठ के बात कर रहे होते हैं तो नॉर्मली उनके पास कुछ ना कुछ टॉपिक होता है. सो आप लोगों को पता होता है जब महिलाएं बैठ के बात करती हैं तो किस रिलेशन के विषय में बात करती हैं, और जब जेंट्स बात करते हैं तो ऑब्वियसली वो अपने बच्चों के बारे में बात कर रहे होते हैं. तो मैंने उनसे पूछा कि बेटा ना बिल्कुल मेरी सुनता नहीं है आजकल. तो जेनजी के विषय में डिस्कशन हो रहा था. हमने कहा बेटा सुनता नहीं है. मेरे साथ में एक और थे, उन्होंने कहा हाँ जी बेटा सुनता नहीं है, उनको बताने की कोशिश करता हूँ. तो ये जो हमारे साथ एक थोड़े से भुक्तभोगी हमारे मित्र थे, उन्होंने कहा बे वो बहरा नहीं है, वो तुम्हारी नहीं सुनता, वो इन्फ्लुएंसर्स की सुनता है, वो उन लोगों की सुनता है जिनसे वो रिलेट कर पाता है. सो एक जिम्मेदारी जो हमारे ऊपर है वो ये है कि हम रिलेट करने लायक बातें आपसे कर पाए, हम वो बातें कर पाएँ जो आपके बेनिफिट की हैं. ये जिम्मेदारी हमारी जनरेशन की है और आपकी जिम्मेदारी है और आपके लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि आप भी गोइंग फॉरवर्ड अगर सस्टेनेबिलिटी के फील्ड में कार्य करना चाहते हैं तो कुछ ऐसा कम्युनिकेशन मीडियम स्टार्ट करें जिसको लोग सुने, समझें और उस पर इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकें. सो दिस कैन बी वन ऑफ द आइडिया फॉर गोइंग फॉरवर्ड. ऐसी कंपनी क्रिएट करना, ऐसा आइडिया क्रिएट करना जिससे सस्टेनेबिलिटी के बारे में अवेयरनेस बढ़े, जिससे एंड फ्री में नहीं, ऐसा नहीं कि आपको एनजीओ खोल के बात कर रहे हैं कि सब सफाई करना शुरू करो. इसको एक बिजनेस मॉडल भी तरह से क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. सो हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं बोलने की, लेकिन पता नहीं, आप फॉर श्योर आप बहरे नहीं हैं, लेकिन हो सकता है हमारी ना सुने. लेकिन आपकी जनरेशन अगर इसको बोलेगी तो हो सकता है डिफरेंट तरह से बोलेगी और शायद ज़्यादा लोग सुन पाएंगे. So on this note, I would like to end the session. Thank you very much to all the panelists, professors. Thank you so much. Yeah, over to you.
So I want to thank the Vivek sir. Very good, very well moderated, sir. Thank you very much. You keep the pace with the agenda. And thanks to all fellow panelists. Thank you taking your time out from your company's busy schedule. I can understand, but I think very good discussion. Because we are ending toward some other engagement also. I believe these discussion will see what we think. This we started this year only. What was in our mind? I'll take a couple of minutes. It's very important. See, हम लोग क्लासरूम में पढ़ा रहे हैं, लैब में ले जा रहे हैं बच्चों को. But we feel as a educators now we have to change something. सब लोग बात करते हैं बच्चा क्लास में नहीं आ रहा है, अटेंडेंस शॉर्ट है, लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स. वी अंडरस्टैंड दोज डायनामिक्स, एवरीवन. सो नाउ वी आर कनेक्टिंग. इन माय ओपनिंग स्पीच इन द मॉर्निंग ऑल्सो आई वाज कन्वेइंग टू द गेस्ट, वी आर वेरी ओपन टू इन्वाइट एंड टू लर्न फ्रॉम एवरीवन एंड एनीवन. बी अ टेक्नोक्रेट, बी अ एडुकेटर, बी अ probably a normal man, not very educated, running something good, doing something very good. सो अभी हम लोगों ने क्या किया है, पूरे इंडिया से हमने सारे डिपार्टमेंट को रिक्वेस्ट किया है. एक दे लॉन्च्ड ए फ्लैगशिप इवेंट वेयर दे आर रिक्वेस्टिंग द एक्सपर्ट्स ऑफ देयर डोमेन टू कम ओवर हियर टू स्पेंड टाइम whenever possible as per the convenience of the industry professionals and to interact with the student. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है 300 बच्चे बैठे, वरना बहुत मुश्किल काम है शाम तक बच्चों को रोकना. Kudos to all the team of mechanical, electronics and electrical, all the faculty members, and thank you very much students, you have taken a lot of interest. Thanks a lot.
सर मैं बीच में थोड़ा सा आ गया हूँ, मतलब आपके और स्टूडेंट्स के. प्रोग्राम इज़ कमिंग टू एन एंड, बट स्टिल हमारे पास एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग और एक आउट ऑफ लीक कुछ है आप लोगों के लिए. और सर आप लोगों के लिए भी थोड़ा, आप लोग भी काफ़ी डिफरेंट एनवायरनमेंट में आए हैं, एंड ऐसे इंजीनियरिंग इंस्टीट्यूशन में आने के बाद कुछ अगर थोड़ा थोड़ा रिक्रिएशन ना हो, थोड़ा म्यूज़िक ना हो, तो वो डिफरेंट नहीं रहेगा. एंड आई होप आप लोग को भी मज़ा आएगा. और अभी हमने एक इवेंट रखा है बहुत ही छोटा सा 5 मिनट का, एंड आई एम श्योर एवरीबडी विल लव इट, राइट? सो लेट अस ऑल एंजॉय. वी हैव वेरी गुड टैलेंट विद अस. नो नो नो,
मुझे डर लग रहा है, मुझसे ना आज अभी डांस कर लो.
हेलो हेलो. सर रिवर्ब बढ़ जाएगा क्या थोड़ा सा?
Thank you, Anna, for that wonderful and refreshing performance. That was truly amazing. Now, it's time for the group photograph of all the panelists. So, sir, please. Yes.
Come. Good. I heard you second time. First time I think pressure.
Okay, sir. Saraka Solutions Global IT Consulting and Engineering R&D company works with Fortune 500 clients across domains like medical, technology, aerospace, and defense. Today, this collaboration provides advanced lab, technical expertise, and training facilities, offer joint research opportunities, and contribution to projects such as e-vehicle development under the Center of Excellence for Electrical Mobility. This partnership aims to bridge the gap between academic and industry, promoting innovation, research, and hand-on learning. Now, I would like to call Dean EEE Dr. Neeraj Gupta ji and Shri Kuldeep Tyagi ji and Mrs. Seema Tyagi ji to exchange the MOU. And also Joint Director, sir. So everyone, please give a big round of applause. As we are moving toward the conclusion of this wonderful event, Synergy 2025, it's time for our validatory ceremony. Now we would like to invite Dean EEE Dr. Neeraj Gupta ji for his validatory address.
A very good afternoon, everyone. And it gives me immense pleasure to stand before you as conclude this inspiring and enriching day, the National Conclave Synergy 2025. On behalf of the KITE group of institutions, I extend heartfelt gratitude to all our distinguished guests, speakers, faculty members, and students for making this conclave a grand success. Today, the session has been truly remarkable. We have privileged to hear from the eminent leaders who share their journey, insight, vision for engineering skill for sustainable future, design and development towards Viksit Bharat 2047. Shri I.V. Rao, Distinguished Fellow at TRE, traced the evolutions of India car industry from Maruti transformation to the promise of electrical mobility. Shri Gaurav Bhava Sir, Vice President, Vaika Group, inspired us to think differently, embrace learning and adapt to change, the true spirit of engineering leadership. Sri Pranav Garg, highlighted how AI, automation and sustainable technology are shaping India's economic growth. Sri Ramanathan, MD and CEO, Automotive Test System, enlightening us the world of vehicle testing, EV innovation and safety system defining the automotive future. Then Sri Shakil Amanji, Samsung Electronics shared valuable insight on cyber security and proactive strategy for digital reliance in the modern enterprises. Then Sri Kuldeep Tyagiji, founder and CEO Saraka Solution, guided us through EV design, simulation and power of innovation in the sustainability mobility. I am also pleased to share that Just Saraka Solution have extended its MOU with the KITE for the next 5 years. Commitment to support our students in research and developed initiative aligned with the national vision of Viksit Bharat 2047. This is the theme of this conclave. Our panel discussion further discussed their perspective, addressing questions on sustainability, design, policy support, renewable energy, and evolving role of engineer in national building. Each session today has enriched our understanding and reminded us for the engineers of tomorrow must be innovators, collaborators, and responsible contribution to a sustainable and developed India. As we conclude, I extend sincere gratitude to our respected management, Sri Atul Garg ji, Sri Gargwal ji, our Executive Director Manoj Goyal ji, Director Academic Director Adesh Kumar Pandey ji for their constant support and vision. Special thanks to the Dean Mechanical Dr. Ashish Karnwal and Dean EC Dr. Vaibhav Sachan and entire organizing team for their dedicated efforts in making Synergy 2025 a memorable success. To all the participants and students, thank you very much. Thank you.